Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it.
TGIF, everybody. Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. I'm Jen Hale here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe.
Hey.
Guys,
Hey, how you doing today, Skip?
Strong?
How you doing today?
Where's the gloat mask? I thought you'd wear it today.
Why would I gloat? About what?
Because Rob Pelinka just went from should be fired to should be executive of the year, right? All of a sudden, overnight, he did.
Why were you worried?
And now you've got all this cap room.
All of it.
You can just go cinch a championship,
Yeah,
right?
it's going to happen.
Is it?
And I heard, I don't know if it's true, we're going to talk about this whole Kawhi.
Yeah.
We're going to make our pitch to Kawhi.
Okay. All right, let's talk
How you like that, Skip?
I'm about to tell you what I think about it.
An amazing roster, albeit all of the three players on it at the moment. So let's start with Shannon's Lakers. They found some interesting ways to free up a lot more money yesterday. ESPN reporting the Lakers traded 3 players to the Wizards as part of the Anthony Davis deal. Speaking of AD, reports say he's agreed to waive that $4 million trade bonus. So LeBron's squad, they've now got $32 million in cap space. That means they can likely sign a max player like Kawhi or Kyrie when free agency starts on Sunday. Shannon, riches, spoils. How should the Lakers spend their money?
You're good at spending money.
I am a little bit, Skip. Skip, when I was young, my grandmother and my grandfather sometimes, wasn't often, but they would give us $5, $2.50 for me, $2.50 for my brother. And the very last words as we exited the house, don't spend it all in one place. Fortunately or unfortunately, I didn't listen. Lakers, don't listen. Spend it all in one place.
Really? Now, wait a second. I got to take issue with your grandfather and grandmother because if you only have $2.50, you almost have to spend it in one place. No. You want something at a toy store? I don't know.
I wasn't buying no toys.
Okay, what was it about? I don't know.
Okay, I got 2 truck driver steaks at the time. You know what truck driver steak is? Honey buns.
Yeah.
They were 25 cents.
Okay.
I get 2-3 honey buns.
Okay.
2-3 Coca-Colas.
Yeah.
By the time I got a bag of tater chips, not potato chips, tater chips, candy bar, and some penny cookies, Skip, it's gone.
Okay, well, those all can be bought at the same place. So you can't spend it all in one place, right?
What it was saying, don't spend it all at once.
Oh,
you know
at
what I'm
once.
saying? Yeah.
Okay, that's a whole different story.
Don't spend it all at once and don't spend it all in one place. Just save some of it.
Well,
No.
I think the Lakers are going to spend it all at once. So here we go.
I'm in agreement with that.
Okay.
If we can get old Kawhi, if Y come join us.
Why?
Yeah, old Kawhi.
Yeah. As in YWHY?
or
Mm-hmm.
we can get Clay. Now, if the Golden States make a mistake and not give him the whole max, they say he's going to be interested in taking a meeting with the Clippers or the Lakers.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to make that mistake and not give him 5 for $190 right out the gate. But Skip, if we can get Kawhi, that would be a game changer. And but that's the only guy. That's the only guy that I'm willing, not for D'Angelo Russell, not for Jimmy Butler. And that's not to say these guys aren't very good players. But only Kawhi, I believe, is a game changer. And Clay, with the ability to shoot the three and the way he can space the floor for LeBron and AD, I think he would be the second best option behind Kawhi. So if you can't get one of those two guys, now we got $32 million. Let's divvy it up and get us some really, really good quality players.
Well, I thought 2 days ago you were all about a bunch of quality players.
But see, now that I
you
heard
have more room, right?
Well, I mean, $27 million, $23 million. I mean, that's a little pocket change.
Okay.
But the thing is that now that Kawhi is true, that Kawhi, we're going to get a meeting with Kawhi. We're going to make our best pitch.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about Kawhi a little later. But if I'm the Lakers, if I can get Kawhi, take all 32. If not, because let's take Clay out of the equation. There's no way they're moving in the new building and not have Clay long term. Okay. So I believe at the start of free agency, he'll get the 5 for $190 that he's seeking. Okay. So it's either Kawhi or bust. We either spend it all on Kawhi or we divvy it up among 4 or 5 players.
Okay, I do agree with your big picture takeaway. In the sport of basketball, I've always said it's about star power.
Yes.
Give me 2 or 3 stars over a deep bench full of pretty good players.
Right.
Because you'll win faster with 2 or 3 stars than you will with a quality team. And I don't want to hear what number 2 pulled off in Toronto. He had star power around him. He had Lowry, a 5-time All-Star. He had a multiple All-Star and Defensive Player of the Year in Gasol. He had Siakam, who's going to be an All-Star next year and was the most improved player, right?
Serge Ibaka and Van Fleet played unbelievable.
Van Fleet, he'll never make an All-Star team, but he plays an All-Star role as the closer for that team.
Yes.
And Ibaka, again, he just comes up big in big moments.
Right.
Okay? So don't tell me he didn't have any help and he did it by himself, because he did not do it by himself. Now, I'm with you on the premise. I'm just not with you on your conclusion, because the one player I would sign, you did not even mention.
Oh.
You mentioned Jimmy Butler. You mentioned D'Angelo Russell.
Kyrie?
You did not mention the guy they should go after right here, right now. It's Kyrie Irving, not number 2, Kyrie. Number 2 would be a much worse fit than Kyrie would be with LeBron and AD, because if you put number 2 with LeBron and AD, you have no closer. All 3 of those guys have had a hard time closing games for their teams when they have been the go-to guy. Yes.
I swore LeBron got all them guys. Okay. So somebody was doing all that closing for Cleveland.
So LeBron James, since he entered the league, has the worst free throw percentage on potential game-tying or go-ahead free throws in the final 5 seconds of regulation and overtime in all of the NBA. He has made 55% of his game-tying or go-ahead free throws in the final 5 seconds, and we saw it right on schedule early on. It was like the 3rd game of the year against my Spurs. Do you remember that? 12.8 seconds left at home.
I'm sure you got the
at
video.
Staples. You know, I don't have the video. I didn't want to do it. I'm not going to rub it in. I'm just
yes,
telling
you will.
No, I don't. I didn't get the video because I don't do that to you. I fight fair. And LeBron had 2 free throws to ice the game with 12.8 seconds left. And what did he do? La brick. He just can't make late-game free throws. Everybody knows it. You know it, but you will not admit it. And then, of course, LeBron came down and had the game-winning 3 and LeBrick that one against my Spurs. That was early, and he had maybe 8 games before Christmas he should have closed and couldn't close. And I got to tell you, Anthony Davis, as great as he was 34 games below 500 for your Pelicans. 34 games below 500. And I know he can be transcendent statistically in PER and all those great numbers, but when it comes to taking over the game and bringing it home, he's not that guy. We repeatedly saw number 2 come up small in 4th quarters against Philly and then against Milwaukee and then against Golden State. Small, bad numbers. I could just go down the whole list of them, but he's not a closer. He wasn't a closer in San Antonio.
No, Skip, he didn't get a chance to because he left because y'all didn't treat him right. But if you look at the numbers, now the numbers say in the NBA Finals of all the players that played, he had the highest average of scoring in the 4th quarter. He had the most 4th quarter points. It was Kawhi.
Do you want me to start into the games where he went Game 2 against Milwaukee, 0 for 3 in the 4th, and then Game 3, against Philadelphia, Game 3, 1 for 4 in the 4th quarter, and then he hit the luckiest shot in the history of the playoffs. That
was not the luckiest shot.
It was. I mean, there's nothing even close. No, seriously, are you arguing that was the luckiest shot? Show me a luckier shot. Do you have video of a luckier shot than that one?
So, Skip, because the ball bounced, go ahead.
He shot it short. It was short, and it shouldn't have gone in. No shot from the corner that hits the front iron ever goes in. It just won't go in.
It's the rotation.
There's no backboard. There's no kiss. You're not going to get a kiss. It's just got to be pure luck. Because, as you say, he practiced that shot. He practiced hitting it on the short iron.
He practiced shooting a corner shot as time was running out. Not necessarily caroming 5 times off the rim, Skip. Stop that. You know what I mean when I say he practiced the shot.
Okay. Then let's just go to the finals. Do you remember Game 2? Clay goes out with 8 minutes left.
Yes.
Steph goes no shots down the stretch of the last 8 minutes. What was number 2 doing?
He was over, but he scored.
Yeah. Okay. He had 2 lucky plays that should not have been. He should have been called for an offensive foul. And then the last 2-minute report said he shouldn't have gotten away with the other one, or he would have scored no points down the stretch of that game. Am I right?
And one.
Okay. And then what happened in Game 5? Do you remember that game? Where was he? The last 3:28 of that game. He had the little flurry.
He had a big flurry.
No, he had a little flurry. And then what happened it was 3:28 of that game. What happened? They were up 6 thanks to him. He made a shot with 3:28, put them up 6. And then what happened down the stretch? He goes 0 for 2. That's no clothes.
What about
no clothes? The Emperor has no clothes.
Yeah,
on
he
that
has
one.
clothes.
Yep.
But what about Game 4 when he came out a big McFlurry? Yeah, I thought it was like McDonald's, that big McFlurry he had.
That was a wipeout.
No. Who wiped him out?
Yeah.
17.
Okay, but it was just it was a blowout. Okay,
Skip,
you can't have that one. That wasn't a close game.
I'm not going to debate you on how good Kyrie is because we know he can be special. But I will debate you on him being a teammate and him being moody. And would Kyrie be willing? Because it's going to look like, okay, you couldn't do it on your own. You said you wanted to. You wanted to lead a team.
Okay, I got it. But you have LeBron James.
Yes.
And clearly he gave it back up to LeBron. Again, he was just trying to throw his teammates under the bus because you guys got to grow up and realize I'm LeBron James now. That's what he was doing. But he would have to swallow his pride. He would have to pretty much look like he's crawling back to LeBron.
Right, correct.
But if he did that, he's still, to me, the best closer in basketball. There's nobody in basketball I'd rather have ball in hands in the last minute of a close game, last 30 seconds of a close game than Kyrie. So he's the better fit because he could resume his closer role for LeBron, who hit the shot of shots in Game 7 at Oracle 2016.
And who had the block of blocks.
Oh, stop it.
The shot has no bearing without the block.
Well, what block?
You know what block?
J.R. Smith deserved not more than he deserved co-block on it. He cut him off at the pass. He made Iguodala almost stop in his tracks.
Skip.
So LeBron caught up. Big deal.
That might be, well, first of all, we know this for certain. It's the greatest block in NBA playoff history. It might be
Said who? Said all the blind witnesses? I never said that.
Although
he's just running full speed. Iguodala has to stop in his track. He gets cut off at the pass by JR. Cuts in front of him, so he has to pull up and stop and get both hands on the ball and then try to come back up and shoot a layup. And he chased down blocks. Who cares? Who cares?
It's the greatest block in the playoffs.
Says you.
I can make a case. It's one of the 3, 4, 5 best plays in playoff history.
Who hit the shot to win the game? The 3 to win the game was made by Kyrie Irving.
Who made the free throw to put it out of reach?
Oh, please.
But I'm not going. Skip, look, I'm not.
He's a fit for this team. He is star power on the Staples stage. He's been there and done that.
Skip, the problem that I'm seeing is that with Kyrie, and like I said, I'm not here to debate how good Kyrie is because he's special. But the mood swings, Skip. We're trying to win a title, and I don't know if his.
You don't think LeBron has mood swings?
They're
all over Twitter and IG every night.
LeBron does not go weeks and months without talking to teammates.
Okay.
Without talking to coaches.
Okay,
Stop.
maybe Kyrie learned his lesson. Maybe he's coming back with hat in hand. Okay, I'm humbled. I'm yours. I'm with you. I'm your disciple. LeBron.
Oh, see, now, you know what, Skip? As you were talking, it finally dawned on me. That would be your worst nightmare. Kawhi and LeBron and to win a title with the Lakers.
I would love to watch it because they don't have a closer.
Yeah, we do.
Every night it'd be like the three of them would be looking at each other. Are you going to do it or am I going to do I have to try to do this?
See, the thing about closer, you only need a closer. See, if I score 20 runs, I don't need a closer.
Oh, okay.
Think about it.
We
got those guys, we'll need a closer. They're going to be out of the game in the third quarter.
So you're going to be 82-0 with 82 blowouts.
You know what? I was thinking because, load management. Because LeBron can take pressure off Kawhi. Kawhi can take pressure. AD can take pressure off of both of them. So we're going to stagger it. I mean.
I'm glad you brought that up because in this case, the big three would be, if I can borrow Frank Thomas's nickname, they'd be the big hurt.
Whatever.
Not the big three. They'd be the big hurt.
Whatever.
Frank works here at Fox.
Skip,
now wait a second. Just wait a second. What do we got there? We got LeBron having suffered his first significant injury of his career last year.
One injury in 17 years and now he's injury prone?
Let's see. He's going into his 17th season. He's about to pass 3 guys on a list to go up to 3rd all-time in minutes played. You don't think he's a candidate for injury? I'm knocking on wood. I don't wish it upon anybody.
No, he's not a candidate.
Just little injuries, knick-knack injuries.
He's played through a lot of those.
Load management injuries where you got to take off 5 games here and 6 games here and 8 games there.
No. He's not going to take off. He's not going to take off that many games in a row. But he might take off 1 here, 1 there. So yeah, if he plays 60 or 70 games. We're not going to lose any sleep.
And all too often, Anthony Davis was knick-knack hurt in New Orleans. Just little thises and that's, and I read you the whole list, and I'm not going to beat it to death again, but there are always little things wrong where he's missing a few games here and a few games there. And then the other guy, especially when he was in San Antonio, he was perpetually injured.
carrying
6 games, 8 games, 12 games, 15
Carrying
games,
that
and
sorry
then finally 73 games.
That's what hurt him.
Okay.
Carrying that roster.
Oh, carrying
hurt his
that
quad,
roster.
hurt his back.
Really?
Hurt his elbow, his shoulders. Yeah, that's what happened.
He was carrying Duncan and Ginobili and Parker.
Hold on.
I don't think so.
First of all, Duncan retired long ago, so stop doing that.
Not long ago. I mean, he was
been
there
3
for
years.
Well, he was there for much of
The last 2 years, Kawhi carried him.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, the last 2 years? The last year he played, what, 15 games?
The 2 years that he was first-team All-NBA and two-time Defensive Player of the Year. Those 2 years. And the year that he had Golden State on their home court down 23, midway through the third quarter, he was carrying them.
He is fragile mentally and physically.
He's
And
fragile
even
physically.
you admit that he's injury prone.
Yes,
Is that
yes,
fair?
yes.
Injury prone?
Yes.
Is Anthony a little injury prone, at least a little bit? Yes, he is.
But
is LeBron about to become injury prone?
No.
Yes, he will,
No,
because
no.
he's just, Father Time is tapping him on both shoulders.
But think about this, Skip. Tom Brady had suffered a knee injury towards ACL in 2008. So that was, I think, his 9th season. Has he had any injuries that's caused him to miss any time since?
You tell me that quarterback is the most overprotected position in all of sports.
It is protected.
So he doesn't have to run up and down the court. He doesn't get to play defense. I wish he got to play defense,
No,
but
you
he
don't.
can't play
No, you
defense.
don't.
Yes,
No,
I do.
no,
Yes,
no,
I
no,
do.
you don't.
Yes, I do.
He's played the
just
only
on
position-
pure guts and clutchness.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's playing the only position in the NFL that he could play.
All right.
But anyway, Skip Bayless, this is how it works. You take an isolated incident. You take a guy getting injured one time in his 16-year career, or 16-year NBA career, and you say he's injury prone. How?
I said he's going to become, because he's an aging player.
Why?
Because he's human. He's mortal.
Who said?
Well, I say. You don't say.
There's no guarantee because he got injured in year 16 that he has to be injured in year 17.
I'm just saying it's coming down the track. He's going to need more load management.
No, he's not.
So you're going to have 2 huge load management candidates and another guy who is injury prone.
Well, the reason why I don't think he's going to get injured because he will not be asked, if he were to have Kawhi, to do all the things that he would normally do. He's not going to be asked to lead the team in rebounding, lead the team in assists, lead the team in scoring. I mean, most nights LeBron James leads the team in scoring, rebounding, and assists. That will not be the case. So he won't have to carry the burden. He will not have to carry the workload that will put that kind of stress on his body. He's going to be just fine.
Okay. Speaking of just fine, obviously number 2 grew up in the Southern California area, born in Compton, grew up in Riverside.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure he grew up, although he doesn't talk much about his childhood, but he grew up a Laker fan, because I can't imagine that he was much of a Clipper fan, because very few kids in Southern California grow up being Clipper fans. Some do, but most of them are Laker fans, right? So has it been his dream to play for the Lakers? Yes. So you got that going for you right now. Aha, they got cap space? Well, I'm going to go listen to them because that was my dream. And obviously the goal was to quit his way out of San Antonio so he could get back to Southern California.
That was not even, stop saying that, Skip.
It just was. I'm sorry, it just was. So here's the point. Be careful what you wish for, number 2, because all of a sudden, to me, you would become number 3 to LeBron and AD. You would. You would become the classic third wheel to those 2, because they're already here, and obviously
AD's arriving the same time Kawhi is.
No, but again, LeBron has wanted him now, it seems like, for 4 years, but it's been
He wanted Kawhi too, remember?
Okay.
He's like, ask me, do I want Kawhi? Yep. Ask me, do I want a KD? Yep.
Okay, but what has been his cause that he's fought for? AD, and they finally pulled it off. So it's, again, they're the 2 clutch clients, and they're 1 and 1A. And then here comes number 2, and he is clearly number 2, which makes him number 3 to 1 and 1A. What happens to number 3? What happened to Chris Bosh on many occasions, and then what started happening to Kevin Love? They became the scapegoats for the phony goat when he had epic fails.
Which one of those guys is Kawhi?
Well, again, you're putting it on a bigger stage at Staples. You're in Hollywood. You're still number 3.
He just came off a big stage.
Okay? He's got to understand that when all goes wrong for number, what is he now? 6. We're going to talk about that in a moment. When all goes wrong for number 6.
Ain't nothing gonna go wrong.
Okay? When it
75
does,
to 7.
then Shannon's going to come in the next day and say, come on. Come on, what are you doing?
75-7.
Yeah.
Can I interest you in that?
Can I interest you in it won't be 75-7? And the guy who will become the excuse for LeBron would be number 2. Well, what's wrong with him? Why isn't he living up? Or when he starts taking off his load management games, Laker Nation is going to be, God, what's wrong with this guy? He would finally start getting the criticism he deserves. He would be in harm's way on the Staples stage with LeBron.
Okay, can we change speeds here for a second?
Okay.
How about we give kudos to Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
Because he said he wasn't about money. He says, I'm
We're
about
gonna
my
talk about
legacy.
that. We're gonna
and
talk
he
about
gave
that.
it up.
Okay. Yeah, well, you're just trying to change the subject now because you don't
Skip.
have a response
First
to
of
what
all,
I just told
this
you.
is what, okay, how about this? Kawhi Leonard is a superstar. He and KD, I feel, and Kyrie are the superstar. I got KD and Kawhi. And Kawhi might be the bigger of the free agents because he's going to be able to play next year. KD is not. And then you got Kyrie. But Skip, if we were to get that guy and pair him with AD and LeBron, do you realize you said it's a superstar league, and normally the more superstars you have,
Normally.
so
Yeah.
okay. There's a reason why the Lakers kept going when you had James Worthy, Kareem, and Magic.
Okay.
Yes, they had Michael Cooper. Yeah, they had Byron Scott, and they had Klay Thompson. They had Michael Thompson, and they had Bob McAdoo, and they had Wilkes. They had all these guys coming off the bench. I
Yep.
get that, but still, like you said, it's a superstar league.
Superstar.
So guess what? Now we don't have to ask LeBron to carry that workman-like load every night. We don't have to ask Kawhi to carry that workman-like load. We don't need 80 to give us 40 and 20 on a nightly basis.
You just said, what'd you call it? What was your record?
75-7.
75-7?
75.
Yet they're all going to take turns?
No. I'm not saying
Okay.
taking turns. I'm saying
Yeah.
they don't have to shoulder all the load
Okay.
of being everything on a nightly basis.
Okay, last quick point. What I don't know about my equation of Kyrie to the Lakers is it seemed like for the longest that Kyrie and KD were joined at the hip.
Right.
But now I'm starting to wonder about this, and now Kyrie has to worry about, I have to go somewhere. If I join KD, Knicks, Nets, whatever it is,
He's going to miss a year.
he's going to be gone, and it's going to be up to me to take the brunt of it for a whole year by myself, and I'd be right back to the Celtics situation, right?
Right.
So he might be saying, gee, I don't know. If I could go join LeBron and AD, I might have to opt for that. Sorry, Kevin.
So you're going to put Kevin to the side, huh?
Yeah.
But it's Skip, from all indication that what we're hearing is that the Nets is a foregone conclusion for Kyrie.
Well, I don't know. We hear all this stuff. I don't think there are any foregons. I think it's all shifting quickly. And when the Lakers cleared that cap space yesterday, Rob Pelinka, Executive of the Year,
Game changer.
then all of a sudden, everything changed. The dominoes all started falling backwards.
No mercy.
Spring is finally here, and if you're looking to get back into a great workout groove, we have to tell you about the latest from Peloton, the Tread. It offers an expansive range of boot camp, running, strength, walking, and stretching classes that reimagine the at-home total body workout experience. With Peloton Tread, convenience is key. Bring the best total body instruction to you at home on your time. Peloton knows you're busy. Classes range from 10 to 60 minutes long, so you can fit in a workout on your watch. Peloton Tread also provides access to trainers there to guide you through a wide variety of workouts. Work up a sweat with world-class instructors who are running, walking, stretching, and training by your side. The motivation is real time, and you never repeat the same workout unless you want to. The 32-inch HD touchscreen and powerful built-in soundbar make the Tread the most immersive and captivating workout experience. Don't miss a beat in a workout that feels larger than life. And with Tread, you can see your progress all in one comprehensive place. You'll be able to push yourself to new personal bests by tracking total output, distance, and heart rate. Discover the immersive and challenging total body training you can get from Peloton Tread. Peloton is offering listeners a limited time offer. Go to onepeloton.com, use the code UNDISPUTED to get $100 off accessories with the purchase of a Tread.
No mercy.
Kawhi Leonard has a very busy weekend ahead. Yahoo's Chris Haynes reports Kawhi will grant both the Clippers and Lakers meeting Sunday when free agency starts. However, do not count out Toronto just yet. Woj reports Kawhi is expected to allow the Raptors to make the final presentation next week. It's nice to be wanted. Shannon, what should the Claw do here?
Skip, This is very easy for me after really, really digging into it. Skip, he can't go back to Toronto.
Really?
He can't.
Oh, what happened?
This team only has 1 year left together. In 2020, there will be only 3 players under contract on that roster. Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard, and A.J. Anunoby.
Okay.
Everybody else is either unrestricted free agent or restricted free agent. Now, the likelihood of you being able to lure someone there to play with Kawhi, we know that's not happening, Skip. They've been free agents up and down the yin-yang in NBA history, and none of those guys have gone to Toronto. The superstars that they've had have left Toronto, be it Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and Chris Bosh.
Okay.
The ideal situation, and he can't do a short-term deal in Toronto given his injury history.
Yep.
It seems like, and Skip, it seems to me, looking at Kawhi, that with his injury history and what we know is that guys, as they age, they don't get healthier. He might have
LeBron James.
Oh, my God.
Well, you just brought it up. I didn't.
Skip. That's an isolated. You told
Isolated.
me. You told me. You named up. I'm not going to do list all the injuries. But he missed 75 games for this, and he missed this many games for that, and he missed this and this and this.
Okay.
That's a reoccurring theme. That's the injury history. LeBron has one incident.
Okay.
So with that being said, the best case scenario for me looking at this would be one of the 2 LA teams. I don't know Kawhi. Kawhi doesn't talk a whole lot, so it's hard for me to read him. I just know he loves the game of basketball and he plays his tail off when he's on the court. The question that only Uncle Dennis knows, outside of Kawhi, is would he be comfortable sharing the car or does he want a car by himself? Growing up, Skip, with an older brother, we were not going to get 2 separate cars. My grandma said, boys, y'all can work together and y'all can have a car together. Whether my brother wanted to have a car by himself so he can go dating on his own, he had to take old Shay with him. You know, I ride shotgun.
You did not go on dates with your big brother.
I had to ride shotgun, Skip.
He would not allow that.
He had no choice.
What are you talking
My
about?
grandma said that.
I don't believe that.
My grandma said that's just as much that boy truck as it is yours. Now, if you want to go, take him with you. There are a lot of Saturday night we sit at home, we watching wrestling because he couldn't go out because he couldn't take me. I feel bad about this, Skip. I'm sorry, Spank. I'm sorry. I should have known better. I didn't feel bad at the time, but as I got older, Skip, I kind of felt bad that I robbed him of some privileges that he deserved.
You scarred him.
He all right.
Yeah?
He all right. I was paying on the truck, too. But anyway, that's the question you're going to have to ask, Skip. He doesn't have anything to prove. He doesn't have to prove that he can lead a team to a championship because guess what he did? He just did that. He just proved that he can lead a team to a championship. So now he got 2 MVPs, finals, and he has 2 Defensive Players of the Year.
Okay.
Well, Kawhi has a pretty impressive resume. So for me, it comes down to, do you want to drive the car? You want your car all to yourself, or are you okay sharing a ride? Because, you know, sometimes, Skip, you can call Uber, you can get ride share. You can ride somebody else, be in the car when they pick you up.
Okay.
Or do you want your own car? Executive. I don't know. I had an Uber app, but I just heard that you could do that.
Okay. You don't do Uber.
I don't have an Uber app on my phone.
Okay. All right.
You got the Uber app?
Beneath you.
It ain't beneath me, Skip. I like to drive myself. I don't like to wait. I like to go outside and get my car and leave. I don't want to call and hit. I see people have the app. Okay, he's like 2 minutes away. Okay, he's right around the corner. I don't do that. My car right there. Let me get my key. Let me go, partner.
I Uber all the time in LA because you can't park. Am I right?
No, valet.
Ernestine and I are going to go to some concert. I said, well, we can't park there. We're going to go to this restaurant. You can't really park there.
Valet.
I know, but it's just too hard. It's too complex.
You know what?
Just take the Uber. Just you hop right out, and they'll come. They'll come in 2 minutes.
Only to the airport.
Oh.
I get car service to go to and from the airport. That's it.
All right. Well, you're too good for Uber.
There you go.
Okay, I got it. All right. So your conclusion is that he should join LeBron and AD. What about the Clippers? So it's with or without, right?
No,
okay.
My thing is, Skip, you don't know what Kawhi makes Kawhi tick. Is he comfortable riding in a car with LeBron?
I understand.
Or does he want to be, I want the car all to myself. I don't want to share a ride. I don't want you to have it one night. I get it the next
I know
night.
it was a year ago, but he told Rick Bucher, according to Rick, that I don't want to play with LeBron. I want to beat LeBron,
Okay.
right?
Well, do we have our answer then?
Okay, then it would be going to the Clippers,
would be the best
right?
situation, yes.
Okay, so there is the possibility that you could, if you want to max out your chance to win a championship, you could go long-term in Toronto with the whole odds on next year as your you could win back-to-back championships.
Right.
Would you give him a shot? Sure, I'd give him a shot.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
How could you not give him a
Yes.
shot? Even though he got every break he could get because Embiid was hurt and sick, am I right? Okay, but he got breaks. Kevin Durant ruptured his Achilles. Then Klay Thompson wrecked his knee. If those two things don't happen, I don't think we're having quite this conversation.
We're not.
Okay?
We're not.
Because all of a sudden KD would be the premium prize on the market and we would lead the show with where's KD going?
Right.
What's he going to do? Because
Right.
he's going to set the whole market. He's going to determine next year's championship by what he chooses because he's going to be able to play next year. Heck, for the pace he started on, he might have been the finals MVP if he kept that pace. He made his first 3 threes.
Yeah.
Am I right?
11 points in 12 minutes.
Okay. What if they roar to wins in 5, 6, and 7, and he leads the way? Would he have a shot?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, to me, I'm going to say it one more time. The not-so-hidden agenda in San Antonio 2 years ago was to get back to Southern California. But nobody could ever tell was it Lakers or Clippers because we didn't know what the Lakers and Clippers were going to look like at that point. Mm-hmm. But now that the Clippers have become a desired destination because of Jerry West, Doc Rivers, Steve Ballmer, and the team that they had. They beat Golden State twice at Golden State in the first round of the playoffs. And again, they're not going to have that same team back, but again, the reports are, and some of this is just rampant runaway speculation, but the prospect of number 2 plus Jimmy Butler with Clippers, I like that. I would do that because in the end, the idea was to get to Southern California, not to Toronto. And even though I feel bad for Toronto, I feel terrible for Toronto because they couldn't do more for this guy than they've done,
can't.
right?
No.
What else could you do?
Nothing.
And Masai Ujiri says that he's staying in Toronto.
Right.
I don't know if that's done yet. It might be contingent on whether he stays or goes, right?
Right, and it says Toronto's getting the last meeting. I don't know what the hell he's meeting with Toronto for. He had a one-year meeting.
Just because he owes them
But Skip,
one last hurrah.
you've had a one-year meeting.
I know, I got it.
When
What more could they say?
Right, when I got released from Baltimore, Skip, and I had the Broncos, the Raiders, and Seattle. And I remember my agent asked me, so, okay, you want to go visit the Broncos? I said, visit for what? I said, hell, I had a 12-year meeting with the Broncos. I know Mr. B. I know Mike Shanahan. I know the offense. I know the guys. I know what the locker room looked like. Let me go somewhere I'm unfamiliar with and see what they're about. Let me talk to Mike Holmgren. Let me sit down and talk to Al Davis, who's at the in charge of the Raiders at the time. Mm-hmm. So, no, I'm not going there. Kawhi, you know what Toronto can give you. They gave it to you. You want no back-to-backs. Good. Okay. 22 games, load management. Good. Uncle Dennis, you want access? Here. Here's a card. Come and go as you please. You want your girlfriend, your fiance, or whatever she in your shop. You want front row? We got you. Whatever you want, whatever kind of carpet, pink, green, red, blue. Mm-hmm. We gonna roll it out for you, Kawhi. Mm-hmm. They've done that for the entire year. I don't know what we're taking a meeting for. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna tell them? What we're gonna try and do? Mm-hmm. All Uncle Dennis got to look. Okay. Siakam's a restricted free agent. He's gonna want a lot of money. Kawhi unrestricted. Marc Gasol unrestricted. Serge Ibaka unrestricted. Oh, guess what? Van Fleet. Unrestricted.
Okay. All right, I got it. But there's even the Kawhi and Dine program in downtown Toronto. You can eat free the rest of your born days if that's what you choose to do, as long as you're in Toronto.
He ain't gonna live there.
Okay.
So I got a few restaurants. We can make a few calls for you. So I'm sure Jeannie Buss can make that happen here in L.A.
I'm going to reread the quotes from a day ago from one Lou Williams. You must consider the source because he plays for the Los Angeles Clippers, and they badly want. I think they put in all their eggs basically in this basket.
Yes.
But he was talking about playing in Toronto for the Raptors, and he said their problem will be trying to keep guys there, to your point. Mm-hmm. And he said, you'll love playing for the Raptors, love playing in that country, but by the 4th or 5th months into the season, you're like, just, damn, man, I want to go home. Okay, I get that. When you play in Toronto, you feel like you're playing overseas, says Lou Williams. We can't wait to go on the road sometimes just to be back in America. Then he talked about the channels are different on TV, phone bill's different, you got to get a Canadian bank account. That, you know what, is hard, and you're raising your kids in Canada. Once you get there, it's dope, but it's hard keeping guys there.
Yeah. Okay?
So it could be a short run, but you'd have a chance to max with 2 straight championships. Mm-hmm. So this is all why. What Lou said is why he's not going to stay there. He's going to pay them their respect. He's going to give them the last shot, and he's going to come to Los Angeles. Now, Lakers or Clippers, I think Lakers would be a bad idea. His dream would become a bad dream. That's just me. And if it's true what he said to Rick Bucher a year ago, this is before he won a championship, quote unquote, by himself away from San Antonio, then he would prefer the Clippers because he still gets to go back, quote unquote, home, but he gets to compete against LeBron in the same building that LeBron plays in.
And he gets top billing. It's his show.
Okay.
It's his show.
All right. Does he want that heat on him? Does he want that pressure? Maybe, because you're still in the shadow of LeBron.
Yeah.
You're not playing with LeBron. Nobody expects you to live up to LeBron, and the pressure would be a little more off as the second team.
Right.
Because nobody really views the Clippers as a traditional powerhouse
No, they
team.
don't.
Nobody thinks of it that way.
Skip, and to back what you said is that looking at Kawhi, and if he were to leave, I'm sure the fans of Toronto would be very disappointed, and rightfully so. But he brought you a championship.
Yep.
Masai Ujiri would do this trade 100 times all over again.
I agree with that.
Even though you might lose him and you lost DeMar DeRozan,
Yep.
you lost Pirtle. Skip, you won a title.
He hit the lottery.
You hit. You
did
won.
it.
You
You
won.
good.
That's all you could hope
Yep.
for. So, I would Kawhi looking at it, Skip. You look at what the roster and the likelihood of them. Who they gonna trade? They got restricted free agents. You're not gonna trade Siakam because he's one of your pieces.
Yeah. Again, I would really like their chances next year, but that would be the end of the line.
Yes.
Okay. And then you'd have to live in Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay.
The free agency
Come on to the
race
Lakers, Kawhi.
certainly heating
Good.
up as we wind down to Sunday. All right, guys, next up this morning, Anthony Davis reportedly waived that $4 million trade bonus. But he does get to keep his old number. Our friend Chris Haynes reports LeBron is, quote, gifting his number 23 jersey to make AD as comfortable as possible in LA. Then last night, LeBron tweeted out the number 6. That fueled speculation he'll go back to the 6 number he wore with the Heat and Team USA. Shannon, your take on this. Why did LeBron do this?
Oh, you're a good teammate. That's what good teammates do. That's what good people do, Skip Bayless. He also realized that 23 didn't make me, I made it.
What, time out. Did you just say that?
Yeah.
He made 23?
It's
Did you just, the blasphemy.
Skip. I'm saying
What?
No, Skip, the number, he's saying the number is not what made LeBron James. I could have been 88, I could have been 12, I could have been 13, I could have been 25, I could have been any number I wanted. I'm still the king, I'm still the GOAT, I do goatish things, a virtuoso on a nightly basis. That's what he's saying. See, you always take everything in a literal sense,
He
Skip.
made 23?
Skip.
One man made 23.
So let me ask you a
forever and forever.
So let me ask you a question. If Michael Jordan did not wear 23 and LeBron James did, would it be any different? Would he be any different of a player? No.
Okay, but
If LeBron James had
the whole circumstance would change.
if LeBron James had 40,
The whole narrative would change. If 23 was just another number.
it is. LeBron made it famous.
Oh,
Can you let me finish my point? and
I
stop it?
swear, one day we're going to get struck by lightning sitting at this table, and nobody will understand it because the meteorological prospect of this is impossible because we got a roof
We're
over us
building.
with all these lights, but somehow lightning is going to come through this roof and strike this table right here.
Can
And
I
the
be-
show will end forever because of you.
Okay, Skip, look, we understand that there was a 23 before
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Yes.
All what my point was is that LeBron is saying, I'm more than the number 23.
Okay.
And to show you that I'm a great teammate, that I'm willing to, AD, I'm willing to give you this for $4 million.
Aha! Now we got to the truth of the
There was a
matter.
price tag on
Am
that number
I
23.
right? Am I right?
I will sell you this jersey
Yes,
for
for
$4 million.
$4 million. That's actually a lot of money to pay for a jersey.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Well, Babe Ruth jersey just went for like $5.5, $6 million. So, I mean, I can understand.
That's Babe Ruth. We're just talking about LeBron.
Yeah, you're talking about Go James.
Huh?
But anyway, Skip. And now, guess what's going to happen now, Skip? He's going to have a different number. And guess who's going to have the number 1 jersey sale in the NBA next year
I
for the
buy
second
that.
consecutive year?
I got it.
01, LeBron
Yep.
James.
Yeah, although, I don't know. I just don't like 6. Where did 6 come from?
Yeah, 6 is a good number, too.
No, it
Russell, what that number?
Huh?
You like Bill Russell, right?
I do like Bill Russell,
Okay.
but there's just something about the number 6. I
Dr.
don't
J
like.
wanted it. Wasn't Dr. J 6?
I don't know. I start thinking of multiple sixes, and then I'm like, ugh, I don't know about that.
But
No?
Don't go there.
No, don't go there.
and that's the thing. I mean,
Yep.
when I went to Baltimore, I had to switch numbers. I offered Jermaine Lewis, who was
I
84 at
remember.
the time.
Yep.
I offered to buy him and his wife matching Rolexes. He said no, and then I went home. I was like, man, what am I going to do?
Matching Mercedes? Maybe?
Hell no. Yeah. Only one person was getting a Mercedes out of that
Okay.
contract. That would have been me. But anyway, Skip, I was like, you know what? I'm big. I'm more than 84. 84 didn't make me. I made it.
Okay, I'll give you that.
No,
but
my
I'm not
brother
going to
had
give
it first.
LeBron that. Okay?
But Skip, you stop it. You
So-
know what I meant.
So you know what I think about the number 23. The NBA should have retired it
No.
when he retired. Seriously.
They should. When LeBron retired, it should be retired
when
forever.
the man retired.
No.
When the GOAT retired.
No.
When it was over. Really, when he left Chicago in 1998, it should have been retired. It's over.
Oh,
That's it. End of story. 23 should hang in every rafter.
Why?
Because obviously he went 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs, and he was the greatest ever in any sport, the greatest competitor ever. I've never seen a force of nature like that guy. And LeBron cannot hold one candle or 2 candles to this guy. You can buy him a whole box of candles, and he can't hold those candles to
You
this
got a
guy.
lighter.
Yeah,
You know, you go to the concert and they light them lighters, Skip.
Okay, so obviously what just happened, the agent they both share just brokered a deal because LeBron is obviously getting up there in age. I'm not saying he's over the hill, but his championship window is starting to close. He's starting to run out of time.
Yeah.
So when suddenly the prospect of the trade getting made and you could add $4 more million of cap room up to 1 max cap room, then obviously LeBron needed the cap room. He needed the extra $4 million in cap room. So he obviously volunteered through Rich Paul to go back to Anthony to say, here, you can keep 23, but you got to give up your kicker, your
sold
trade
to him.
kicker. And exactly how he deserves to get a trade kicker when he demanded the trade, I don't know. But it's in your contract
Yeah, right.
and by the letter of the contractual law, but it doesn't seem right on principle. That's if they trade you, you get $4 million. Yeah. But he's the one who forced the trade, right?
You should be able
so
to get
it would seem like you would then
No.
forfeit.
Trade is a trade.
You should forfeit it, but whatever. Okay, so he's going to get his $4 million, except he's going to waive it.
Yeah.
Because you need the cap room LeBron. And in exchange, he gets to keep 23.
Yeah.
So I'm good with all that. But again, what I loved about AD was he chose 23 for the right reason because he went to high school, as you know, in Chicago. So he was honoring 23.
He was honoring
right?
LeBron James. He
No,
wasn't even alive when Michael Jordan was playing.
Stop it. He has been quoted as saying many times, I chose it because of Mike. And the difference was that LeBron chose 23 because he really thought he had next. That's why.
He did.
He said, I'm next.
He did.
I'm going
Chosen one.
Okay. He had it tattooed across his back. Chosen one
Yep.
coming out of high school.
So what that mean? He was chosen.
Okay.
He had next.
Okay. So that was the worst move he ever made.
No, it's not.
It was because you're never going to live up to that guy.
Not
And
only-
he hasn't.
Surpassed.
Surpassed. He's 3-6
I
in the
don't care.
finals.
If he's 1-8.
He had the all-time superstar meltdown in an NBA Finals against the Dallas Mavericks. He will never overcome that. It's a blight on his resume.
He overcame it.
He did not overcome
Overcame
it. It's ugly.
Two finals MVP,
Okay.
3 finals MVPs, and 2 regular season MVPs since that. Oh, he overcame that.
Okay. Did he overcome, like, would Michael Jordan have ever missed the shot to tie the game at the end of Game 6 in 2013? He would not have missed that shot. He would have made that shot. And then Ray Allen canceled LeBron's miss with the
my
greatest
God.
clutch shot I have ever seen. So, again, you're shaming the legacy of 23 again and again in the finals.
How you shaming it?
Could Michael Jordan's team ever have lost a finals by a record finals margin as LeBron did to the
Yeah,
Spurs?
when you don't have the better of the team, when did Michael Jordan go into a series and he didn't have the better of the teams?
Okay, but it was close. Vegas said that was going to be a very close series.
Well-
Most people thought it was going to be a 7-game series.
But
right?
but the Spurs were still favored. Michael Jordan never went up against a Spurs type team. He never went up against a Golden State, a team in their prime. Remember, Magic Johnson was not in his prime.
This is the GOAT, you keep telling me.
Yeah.
I say he's the phony GOAT.
No.
But you're telling me the GOAT, and he still had Dwayne. I know he wasn't quite Dwayne, but Chris Bosh was still Chris Bosh. And you still had all those great role players who had helped you win a championship against the Thunder. You still had Chalmers and all those
Ray
various,
Allen and
you had a bunch of those guys. So the point was they lost by a record margin because LeBron wasn't very good in that series.
Oh, he wasn't very good.
He was not Jordan-esque.
He was just 28, 8 and 7.
Yeah, go look at game 3 and 4 and tell me what you see in that series. Back home in Miami when it was 1-1. Go tell me what you see from
It should have been
LeBron
2-0 had y'all turned out the AC and turned up the heat.
I loved it, but there was only one player on the floor who cramped. Only one player. How many guys are on team? 12 and 12. So there 23 other players did not cramp that night, but one guy cramped. Some people think it was because pressure and he.
Man, is that nobody? No, ain't no some people. One person thinks
No.
it was a mental cramp.
I
That's
actually
what you
heard
think.
that from somebody who's on the training staff of the Miami Heat. I quoted it in the on ESPN.com. You can go look it up.
Whatever. I do not believe that's the case, and I think deep down. But anyway,
all these are shaming 23,
No.
not living up to
and
23.
LeBron James is going to be 23.5.
Yeah, he should have taken 22. I would have given him 22 because then at least you're saying I'm one short of you. I'll never quite be you. But,
He should have took 25 in.
okay. 25.
Yeah, I'm above
You're
you.
better than
Can't
you.
get 24 because
Yeah.
Kobe
Do you
already-
really think he thinks that? He doesn't.
He does. Absolutely. LeBron lays his head on. Didn't you hear him tell him he the GOAT? He was in the shop saying, I'm the GOAT. After what I did in going back and winning that title, I am officially the GOAT. I'd appreciate if you address me as GOAT.
Okay.
GOAT James.
The real GOAT won 10 scoring titles to only one for LeBron James. The real GOAT
Skip, they do
had 5 MVPs to LeBron's 4, which is pretty good.
Skip,
And LeBron's
they
not
do-
going to win another MVP. Sorry, that's over.
They do different things. LeBron is asked to rebound
Yep.
and score. Rebound and assist. Michael, but the thing is, Skip, is that you keep telling me Michael never led his team an assist, rebounding. LeBron has done that.
All he did is lead it in clutch points.
That's what LeBron does.
Yeah, when you need to just to make the basket to win the game, he made it.
That's Bron.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't notice last year. I saw again and again when he missed all those shots.
Oh, since you noticed that, you noticed what the last 2 years were like in Washington?
Yep.
You noticed that?
You know what? I think he made a great choice because he needs to stay in number 6 for the rest of his career and take a little heat off himself.
There ain't no heat.
Yeah.
Nah, we turn up that heat.
Yeah.
We're fine, Skip Bayless. We did a gesture because, AD paid us $4 million for this.
That's exactly what happened.
For that jersey.
Thank you.
But
Are you going to get a 6 jersey?
no, he needed to compensate because I got 5 23 jerseys.
Okay, now
he
what are
needed
you
to
gonna do?
compensate. He needed to compensate.
I
me
think
for the
you
jersey.
you're
I would
required
I would
to
get
get
it.
a 6.
Yeah, I would get a 6.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, number 23 is retired at Charters Perspective High School, which is where AD went to high school on Chicago's South Side, and that is in honor of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Aha.
No mercy. No mercy.
Back to the NBA and one of the biggest questions in free agency. Will Kevin Durant be back in the Bay? Golden State is the only team that can offer him a 5-year, $221 million deal. However, the Knicks and Nets certainly pushing hard to be the front runners to sign KD. The Athletic is now reporting the Warriors are more optimistic about keeping Durant, though. Shannon, is this false hope? Should they be optimistic?
They should, because Skip, I believe they have the better pitch. They're like, we got Clay, we got Steph, we have Draymond. You're close to Silicon Valley, who you have a lot of great things going on here. 5 years, 221 versus 4 years, 164. Skip, I like haircuts, but not $57 million haircuts.
You have to, it's for one more year,
Right,
but it's still
right.
a big haircut. I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Skip, let's just say for the sake of argument, he goes to the Knicks. Unless Kyrie is there, because I'm trying to look, and I didn't look this up. I should have looked this up. Who's going to be the available free agents next year?
Yeah.
But he's basically starting from the lowest point. Stay in Golden State. You know what you have. You have a 2-time MVP. You have a 3-point champ. You have a guy that's won a Defensive Player of the Year who can do a lot of good things. Great. Go to the Nets. They have some great pieces. Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert. They got the young center, Allen. They got pieces. Joe Harris, who won the three-point competition. They got some nice pieces already in place.
Good coach, good management. Yeah.
But nothing like Golden State. You know what Steve Kerr does.
Sure.
You know the ownership, and they'll spend any amount of money to make sure you have the best product. The question is, if what Steve Kerr said is true, that not only did their team doctor cleared him, but KD's own independent doctor cleared him, and then a third doctor cleared him. KD might be saying, you know what, guys, this might have just been the lemony snickets, a series of unfortunate events. Nobody's at fault here. This was just meant to be. Forgive and forget. Hey, let me rehab this thing, and we're going to run it back again starting 2020.
You could be right about that. I'm going to bet against it. I still believe Kevin Durant is the biggest domino, and I have never been more anxious, more fascinated, more captivated by what's about to happen in the NBA than I am over this weekend heading into Sunday and Monday, because Kevin Durant has shown us before he has the ultimate flair for the dramatic. I don't know anybody who saw Kevin Durant
I didn't either.
leaving OKC for Golden State coming.
Nope.
Nobody predicted that. Nobody speculated. Maybe I missed somebody who had a tidbit about it.
Right.
But it was a bolt out of the blue. It was 4th of July fireworks.
Yeah, you didn't hear about it till the very last minute that they were boarding a plane and going to even meet with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's true. And the prospect of him joining forces with the team that had overcome a 3-1 lead against his Thunder, leaving Oklahoma City, where he loved Oklahoma City, and we all thought, except I don't include me in there, but most people thought he loved playing with Russell. And I believe he loved Russell off the floor. He just didn't love him on the floor.
Didn't believe he could win a championship with that style of play.
With that style of play, and that guy is the primary ball handler and decision maker on every offensive possession. So he shocked us once, and then he stood up and took the heat, and he was Finals MVP back-to-back. I don't know if I've ever been more impressed by something one man has done than those two things, given the heat that was applied to him, because he took an internet beating over this, right? The criticism fell on him like hellfire on him for a whole year leading up to that finals. And I don't think anybody's ever gone into a finals with more pressure on him than Kevin did, because everybody wanted him to fall on his face against LeBron in the finals. Instead, he took over Game 3 in LeBron's house, and the rest is finals history. Back-to-back MVPs. Okay. So he is a shock-the-world kind of guy. And to me, what I would love to, this is just my wish for him, I want to see him take over the Knicks. Obviously, can't do it for another year.
Right.
But I do think he would need Kyrie. I've already advocated that the Lakers should go after Kyrie instead of number 2. But I don't know that this is all contingent on, then KD would need to be choosing the Knicks with Kyrie. And then Kyrie would have to accept taking the beating for a year while KD rehabbed. And it will be hard on Kyrie if he's in Madison Square Garden basically by himself.
Yes.
That'll be a long, hard year.
Especially and he doesn't have the pieces that he had in Boston.
He does not.
And it didn't go very well, and he got tired of answering questions like, what's going on? Well, we will know what's going on. I mean, Kyrie's by himself with some young guys.
So is Kyrie willing to put his career on hold for a year? Because that's basically what you'd have to do. You'd have to consider this a non-year.
Skip, he doesn't strike me as a guy like that, because he demanded a trade out of Cleveland. He wasn't willing to sack, because he was about to, he could have okay, I'm going to wait one more year. But it's like, no, I want out now.
Yeah.
It doesn't strike me, but Skip, when you look at it, and we keep saying Silicon Valley, it's not like Kevin Durant can't run his operation. Silicon Valley is going to be there. It's not like he can't run it from another locale. He could live in New York or Brooklyn or wherever. I mean, if you want the Clippers, Clippers feel like they got a chance at Kevin Durant. You can run a business, especially now with the technology the way it is, from anywhere in the world. You don't have to necessarily live in the same city that your business is set up. But I just think, looking at Golden State and what they have to offer, the extra $57 million for 1 year, the Steve Kerr, the Steph, the Clay, the Draymond, to understand he's been there for 3 years. He knows everything there is to know about how this organization works, its inner workings. So for me, I think that would be the best case scenario for him. And they should be optimistic because they have things that the other teams just do not have. The other teams don't have Steph, Clay, and Draymond. They don't have that extra year for for $57 million. They don't have a Steve Kerr. So with that being said, Golden State should feel very optimistic.
Okay, I got that. But I still have this gut feeling that somehow the bridge might not be burned, but it's on fire.
Okay.
Him versus Draymond back in November. Did he really get over that? Hard for me to believe. Did he really get over the way the injury thing played out? I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me because Draymond 2 days ago in New York City volunteered, well, they lied about my injury. Right? I had a fracture and they call it a bone bruise.
And the thing is, Skip, is that when KD got injured, instead of just saying that he was done, and Chris mentioned this, they could have took all the pressure off Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is not playing anymore.
Yep.
But the fact that they kept saying, yeah, he's going to be back, and then the owner, Joe Lacob, said, yeah, I expect to see Kevin Durant at some point in the NBA Finals. When the owner says that, well, what are you supposed to? Man, if Mr. B would have said, I expect Shannon to play on Sunday, that adds a little bit more pressure. And Shannon's going to have to heal up a little faster than he normally would heal.
Okay.
And so I just think the pressure that added. But KD, Skip, 3 doctors said, KD, you can't injure yourself.
According to Steve Kerr.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the only thing that we are not totally privy to.
Nope.
Kevin Durant knows, and the doctors what's going that work behind the scenes. They know. Now, if that's not true, Kevin Durant's bouncing. Okay. If that's not true, Kevin Durant is bouncing.
Okay. The New York Knicks, ultimate challenge. The flip side of going from OKC to join forces with the champion Golden State Warriors.
Oh, absolutely.
So if he goes to the Knicks and he takes on the challenge and they win a championship because of Kevin Durant, how much would that cancel out the earlier criticism he received for leaving Oklahoma City?
That one championship in New York, the Knicks, would be worth more than both of those in Golden State.
Both of those. Totally agree.
No question whatsoever.
And if you manage to win 2 championships, and you're entering what I would call the backside of your prime right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to lose this year.
Oh, he won 2 championships with the Knicks?
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of hard to keep him out of a top 5 discussion.
Top 5 discussion. Would the great Clyde Frazier, would he take back his criticism? Remember, he said there's going to be an asterisk beside Kevin Durant's name, right? Because he left for Golden State. Remember, would he take that back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would he remove the asterisk? Yes, he would.
And the thing is, Skip, now that just bumps Walt Frazier down a notch because Kevin Durant will be the best player to ever play in a Knicks uniform.
I would say, and they have not won a championship since 1973. So, to me, that's the right move to make.
Right.
But with Kevin, he is he loves to go completely against every grain. So I keep trying to rack my brain for the one crazy move out there. And I told you the other day, the only move I could see off the top of my head is he would go to Dallas. And you'd say, there's no way he's going to Dallas. Well, that's Kevin. What if he did? Would you be sure you'd be shocked? Then you'd say, well, that's Kevin
What
Durant.
if he went to the Clippers?
Okay, it's possible.
Yes.
Certainly possible. Would he go there with
Kawhi?
Maybe. Would he? Sure, he might.
I mean, it's hard to picture that pairing of KD and Kawhi. But like you said, KD is one of these guys that do things that he did that.
Yep, he did that. Yep.
Wow.
And there's also all kind with Rich Kleiman, his sort of manager, assisting and overseeing this, manipulating this. There are all kinds of sign and trades they could get Golden State to do that would get him God knows where. I don't know. It'd be the world is his oyster.
Right.
But obviously you won't have him for
a year.
2 years.
Yes.
Yep.
So somebody's going to make a move that you're like, I didn't see that coming.
I would agree.
Somebody's going to make one of those moves. You're like, huh? Skip, I'm not talking about, one of these guys going to the Dallas. I'm talking about one of these big guys.
Yeah.
I'm talking about one of the big 4, Kyrie, Kawhi, KD, Jimmy Butler. One of these guys is going to do something that you least expect that you don't see coming.
Yep. And for once, there are these big dominoes.
What if KD
there are
side
4
with
or
the
5
Lakers?
of them, and they start
What if he signed with the Lakers?
Okay, it's possible. I don't rule it out. I do not rule it out.
Ooh.
Yep.
Be hurt.
Now,
I don't even want to imagine that.
well, you'd have something.
We're gonna have something regardless.
I mean, next year you'd miss the playoffs, but then
Hey, look, it might not be for Sunday, but it's gonna be granny cooking. So it's something coming out the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay.
So we might not get KD, but we got something cooking. We got something on the stove right now. Bron and KD.
I smell it.
Ooh, you smell that too? Ooh, I smell a title.
It's burning.
I smell a title. Yeah, there.
KD was seen out and about in New York City earlier this week wearing a bandage from his toe up to his knee. His folks have a medical scooter and a walking boot close by, but good to see him getting out and about just a little bit.
No mercy.
On Fox, it's the first ever Major League Baseball game in England. The Yankees take on the Red Sox live from London tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern on Fox. All right, so Anthony Davis might not be the only big name joining LeBron this summer. ESPN reporting the Lakers traded 3 players to the Wizards as part of the AD deal. Reports also say the Brow is waiving his $4 million trade bonus. That means LeBron's squad now has $32 million available in cap space and can sign a max player like, hey, Kawhi or Kyrie when free agency starts on Sunday. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good morning. Happy Friday. How do you think the Lakers should spend their money?
Well, the first thing, if I were running the Lakers, I think the player that fits with LeBron and AD better than any player on the planet, better than any star out there,
Klay Thompson.
is Klay Thompson. I would get LeBron on the horn. Now, I don't think they're going to get him, but I would get him on the horn. I would talk to Michael Thompson, who would love for Klay to be a Laker. Like, Klay would be perfect with AD and LeBron. I mean,
He breaks Steph's record of full 6. He break that.
oh my God.
Them looks he gonna get.
It would be incredible. Now, again, I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be my first thing. I would get it out to him. We want you number one above anybody.
How much would Klay
you
leave on the
take
table? Is it another
50-ish?
50-ish.
some million?
Yep.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to happen.
The
I
only
think
way he would entertain that if they don't offer him the max.
that's
for 5
what
for
he's
190.
saying. Right, that's what he's saying. But I would try to get word to him before that. Would you even consider it? Because you're our number one guy. Now, I don't think he'd do it, but that would be number one. Number two, Kawhi's a no-brainer. All right, he's so good. I don't worry about how they would fit. It'd just be
So good.
They would just win it because those 3 players are so good.
So good, Skip.
3 of the what? Top 10
Okay,
players,
let's
whatever.
say 10. That's not like 10. But we think that we got 3 of the top 7.
And
No, wait a
defensively,
second. Tell me when it's my turn, please.
You
I'll just wait over
I will
here
let you
until
go
it's
after
It's
Chris.
still
I will let
Chris's
you-
I've got
I will let
plenty
you go after
more.
Chris.
It's still
Plenty
Chris's
more.
turn.
All right. They defensively with Kawhi and AD, it'd be crazy. Now, they also would max Kawhi or Kyrie. I don't know that I would, but they would max Kyrie.
You would not. Why?
Here, I would I just think look, it works so well together with LeBron and Kyrie, but the reason it worked well in Cleveland was because Kevin Love stepped back.
Right.
Now, looking at those 3 with AD, who's stepping back? Nobody, none of those guys is going to play the Kevin Love, Chris Bosh role.
Right.
So what I would want is LeBron to look at this latter stage of his career as the Magic Johnson era. And he should be the playmaker, setting up Kyrie, setting up AD. I think AD should probably lead him in scoring. Maybe Kyrie's even second, maybe. LeBron probably would end up being second just because he gets points. But if they do that, I think it could work. Otherwise, it'd be a challenge just because the 3 games don't perfectly fit together. So I would not go for Kyrie. I don't think they're getting any of the 3, Klay, Kawhi, or Kyrie. The other guy, this is how they view D'Angelo Russell. They don't want to max him, but they feel like if Kyrie goes to Brooklyn, then D'Angelo will get renounced, and then they will try to get him for less than the max, 22, 23 million, something like that. I think what they should do if they don't get Klay or Kawhi is just go get 3 guys. I'm looking at Brook Lopez. I'm looking at Patrick Beverly. I'm looking at Seth Curry. I'm looking at Terrence Ross. Like, those are the guys. You need depth. Your first 2 are so good, and Kuzma can be the 3rd guy. So that's how I would do it if I'm the Lakers. I just think Klay and Kawhi are so good. Just take them and figure it out. But
you're saying that's not going to happen anyway.
yeah, I
Right.
don't think they get Klay, Kawhi, or Kyrie. Now, of the 3 of those, this will surprise you. I think the best chance is Kawhi, actually. Because unless Kyrie could be in an interesting situation. I don't think the Lakers are that high on his list at this point. But if Brooklyn doesn't get KD and they say, you know what, we're not going to take Kyrie by himself. If New York doesn't get KD and says, nah, first of all, we know we're your second choice to Brooklyn. Secondly, we're not sure. We're not going to take that chance either and take you. Then where does Kyrie go? That's where the Lakers become, I think, potential for Kyrie. But I don't think they get either of those three. So I think you go get three guys with the money.
Take it away.
No, you go.
No, you go ahead. Because I know you chomping at the bit. You don't want Lakers to be doing anything anyway.
So, my friend Chris Broussard just said that it would be a no-brainer to go after number 2 if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. You said that, right?
Yes.
No-brainer,
Yes.
and you said it'd be over.
Without question. It would be over.
He predicted
75-7.
It might be
75 and
Well,
7. Even though we got load management,
Right, it'd
all
be a
over
lot
the
of
place.
load management up in there.
Okay, but they're so good, the three of them,
Championship.
that they'd
That-
win 75
Okay,
games.
68-14.
Because
Okay, my
they-
bad. 16-14.
They could all
The
take
bottom line is
turns.
championship.
They could take turns playing
Yeah.
solo nights, and they'd go 68.
No, we always gonna have 2 or 3 in the lineup.
Okay, 2 out of 3 and 68 and 14. Here's my problem with your premise of no-brainer. You would also have no closer. There's no closer among those 3. LeBron failed miserably trying to close games early last year, and even you have admitted that at times on this show because he is a lousy late-game free throw shooter. Am I right?
Free throws, yes.
Free throw.
But we know he
shooter.
has closed games with shots.
I don't know many because he's now played 16 years and he went 15 years. Well, we go back one, actually 14. He went 14 years having closed light with walk-off shots. He had 2 in 14 years. That's pathetically bad given the many attempts that he passed up because he passed, but he made the right play, you guys always said, because he was afraid to have to go to that free throw line because he knew he was going to get fouled. Am I right about that?
No.
He
I don't agree.
is not a closer. And I've told you again and again, I know Kyrie took a beating last year for what went wrong in Boston. He's still, to me, the best closer in basketball. There's nobody I would want with the ball in his hands in the late game situation than Kyrie Irving. So I'm opting for Kyrie right now in this situation because remember, what was he in New Orleans? He was 34 games under 500. He has transcendent talent, according to this man.
He does.
He is PER king or
Number
prince,
3
I
all
should say.
time. Well, number 3 or 4 all time behind Jordan and LeBron.
His record in New Orleans was 216 and 250, so 34 games under 500. Why was that? There's some intangible missing. I've said that for years on TV. He's a tremendous player, but you need somebody that you say he's our go-to closer. Toronto had Van Vliet. He closed. He made 3 threes in the fourth quarter of the closeout game because that's who they looked to. That's who number 2 passed to at the end of the game. Remember that? He said,
they didn't look to Van Vliet.
Yes, they did.
He just happened because of their egalitarian offense.
Egalitarian.
Whoever's
I like that.
in
That's
the
the
role.
first time that word has ever been used on this show, and I like it.
He was just in the right place, and Kawhi doesn't dominate the ball, so he got his
You
shot.
guys give number 2 the biggest pass because he is not a closer. He never was in San Antonio, and that was a reason they didn't offer him the max. A reason, along with his constant injuries. But he wasn't the go-to fourth quarter guy that you give the max to. You got to give me a second here. I'm going to run down what just happened in these playoffs. Everybody gave him a pass for this, and it drives me crazy. He failed miserably in fourth quarter after fourth quarter after fourth quarter against Philly. Go back and look this up. Game 2, fourth quarter, they lost the game. He was 0 for 3. Game 3, fourth quarter, 0 for 2 in the fourth quarter. They lost that game. Let's go to Milwaukee. Game 1 loss, 0 for 3 from the floor in the fourth quarter. Game 2 loss, 1 for 4 from the floor in the fourth quarter. This is supposed to be a guy you guys say, he's dominating, he's transcended, he's the MVP, the runaway MVP of the playoffs. What happened in Game 3? They go back to Toronto. This is against Milwaukee. Do you remember what happened? The final 1:13 of the fourth quarter, they had a 5-point lead, and all they need to do is for him to close it. And Milwaukee scores 5 quick points to send it to overtime because number 2 didn't even get a shot up in the last 1:13.
And then what they do?
Okay.
He took over.
Okay. He took over, says Shannon Sharpe. And that's why you're giving him a pass. You're sweeping it under the carpet. First overtime of Game 3. This is the turning point game of that series for them. What did he do in the first overtime? He missed 2 shots to win the game at the end of the game. Do you remember that? The final 113, he missed, I'm sorry, this is the first overtime. He missed 2 shots to win the game.
Yeah, I remember.
All right? So then we go to
second overtime.
Game 6. Well, then Giannis fouled out. Remember? He fouled out with like seconds into the last
overtime. Kawhi have what, 8 to 10?
Over that.
Like you tell me, sweep that under the rug.
Giannis fouled out.
We fouled him.
All right? Well, then Milwaukee just gave up. You could just see they're like, we lost him. And I don't know if he fouled out all year, did he? I don't think he did. Okay, Game 6, the closeout win against Milwaukee. He goes 1 for 4 from 3 in the fourth quarter. Now we go to the finals. The Game 2 that they lost at home, fourth quarter, Clay goes down with a hamstring with 8 minutes left, and Steph down the stretch goes 0 for 0 and 0 for 0 from the line. He can't even get a shot up. What does number 2 do down the stretch? He goes in the fourth quarter 1 for 6 from the floor and 0 for 3 from 3. And you guys are praising him like he's the greatest thing that ever came along.
And then guess what he said? Remember when Nick Nurse said, guys, all we have to do is go to Golden State and win one of these games, and we're back on. Kawhi stood up and said, F it. Let's get both of them.
Okay.
Now, if Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant had said that, we'd have been heaping praise on him.
Did Clay play in Game 3?
He played in Game 4.
Here's the thing, too. What if you gave the stats for Kawhi when Clay got hurt? If Kawhi had dominated, you wouldn't have given him credit because you would have said Clay is out.
Did he dominate?
Yeah. No, but
did he smell blood and take over?
What game was it when he scored 10 points in 2 minutes in the fourth quarter?
Okay, Game 5. He goes
Right.
on a flurry, and he has a great flurry. And then what happened? With 3:28 left in that game, he made his last shot. And then down the stretch, he goes 0 for 2 shooting an air ball jumper. Remember that? And then he had a 3 to win the game with 1:10 left to put them ahead.
Right.
And he missed that 3. And those are the only 2 shots he took down the stretch until the last shot, and he turned it down because it looked like a double team was coming.
Yep.
It was a double team.
Just drive it.
He made
just
the
drive
right
it.
pass.
Just drive it.
What about Game 4, Chris? You want to talk about Game 4 when he had that 17 to 3rd?
Right.
Hey, but it was a blowout.
We blew him out.
That's not closing. That has nothing to do with closing. Then I'm going to finish
36
up.
to 12.
The game is
6,
also 48
Game 6
minutes
is the closeout game. They lose Kevin Durant with a ruptured Achilles. They lose Klay Thompson with a wrecked knee. And then what happens in the fourth quarter? It's still a seesaw game. He goes 0 for 4 and 0 for 2 from 3 in the fourth quarter. You like that? It's just again and again.
What about the Game 7 buzzer beater?
He's not
You can't write that off.
It's not a buzzer beater. It's the luckiest shot in the history of the playoffs.
You can't write it off like that, Skip. It went in. Period.
How many corner threes that hit the front iron go in? I can't remember one.
I know one.
Yeah,
I know
okay.
one.
You know one
That's all
because it
that
was
matters.
incredibly. It was blessed by the gods. It was.
Well,
it
maybe
was
he'll
hand
be
of God.
blessed in L.A. or
I've
with the
never
Lakers
seen
if
it.
he
I've
goes.
never seen a shot like that. I've covered basketball way longer than you have, and you guys can put your basketball together, and you can't come up with how much basketball I've watched. I've never seen a corner 3 go in like that in my life.
Kawhi shoot one.
It bounced high off the front iron. I thought it was going to hit the floor, and you admitted you thought it was just going to drop right on the floor. And then it caught iron a second time, and somehow it weirdly hops across the rim all the way to the far iron, and it bounces again, and then it falls in.
It's called touch.
Oh,
it's
touch.
called English.
4 bounce touch?
Yes.
Didn't Kawhi tell you he practiced that shot growing up?
You know what? I could give him 10,000 shots from the corner, and he couldn't repeat that shot.
No,
10,000.
Skip. I don't know what. We just saw the best shooter ever, Steph Curry, miss a 3-pointer at the end of Game 6.
He has never been clutch. He has never been clutch. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
The best shooters will hit 50% of their 3 points. The best. I mean, not even 50%.
Did Ray Allen's shot that shot me right in the heart in Game 6, 2013, did it hit the front iron? No, it hit nothing but net.
It doesn't matter what it hit as long as it goes through.
Net.
It really doesn't matter.
Gentlemen, we have
Skip
to
said
leave
if you
this
practice
one
a
here.
shot, you got to practice the way you made the shot. So you got to practice hitting the front iron, the back iron, the middle iron.
Nobody.
dropping
If
it.
Kawhi hadn't made
Lord
that
have
shot, what would y'all argue about every morning?
No mercy.
It's time for our hot topic of the day, sponsored by Heineken. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Steph Curry is a 2-time MVP, and he's won 3 NBA titles. Now, reports of jealousy are surfacing around the NBA towards the Warriors star. His former teammate Matt Barnes said this about Steph. I think he came in, he's the golden boy. He came in and destroyed record books, won championships, beat LeBron. He's done a lot of things that probably angered other players and other fans. That's why I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. He's obviously the greatest shooter to ever play the game. And I can see people being bitter from that. Not to mention the whole light skin thing, and people have problems with that. Ooh, very, very big statement from Matt Barnes. We're joined once again by Chris Broussard.
Light skin president. He's the president of the Light Skin Club.
Give us your take. What do you think about these comments?
Well, I am going to cut to the chase and get to the quote that has everybody buzzing and in an uproar, the light skin thing. And you guys have heard Shannon and I joke about it. Rob Parker and I have joked about it on our radio show. But I don't believe most non-black people, unless they've really spent a ton of time around black people, maybe grew up around blacks, understand, certainly not fully understand, what blacks are talking about when they say light skin. They are not referring to Larry Bird or J.J. Redick. Like, they're not talking, they wouldn't call a white person light skin. They're not talking about a Hispanic person, an Asian person. They are talking about a light skinned black person.
I think most white people get that.
I know at our radio show, guys, Mexicans and others start thinking they talking about them being light skinned. When we, so this is because as obsessed with blacks, as obsessed as black people are, understandably, with racism, I think, unfortunately, because I hate it, we're just as obsessed with colorism. And colorism is the variation of skin tones within the black community.
The melanin in your skin.
When you got the two extremes right here between myself and Shannon. And this, of course, dates all the way back to slavery, where light-skinned blacks, because biologically, virtually all of them, if not all of them, are related to the slave master, whites. So that's the slave master with the slave women, and they got certain privileges.
They were in the house. The dark skin, they got to the field. They got, they got to sleep in the house, and the dark skin when they got the slave quarters. So there became resentment, Skip, between the darker and the lighters. And the light skin was like, oh, we sick, boss, so we got it good. No, we don't. You do understand.
Some of the light skin.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it was like.
I wouldn't put all of them like that.
But they got.
Because the freedom fighters, W.B. Du Bois, Adam Clayton Powell, Malcolm X, they all been light skinned. Muhammad Ali. So that's a generalization that doesn't really fit the history.
No, not all, but the way there was enough of them that were treated better than the dark skins.
They got better treatment.
That the dark skins built up a resentment. And with Steph Curry, Skip, they look at Steph. We've never seen a small guy be able to impact the game like him. He changed the game, because before it was all about athleticism. How high can you jump? Can you dunk from the free throw line? And Steph's like, no, I can stay out here and have a greater impact than you can jumping from the free throw line and dunking. And so Steph made it okay for guys to like, okay, I'm not athletic, but I can shoot. And then there's something else at play, Skip. A lot of the guys come from a situation where they're not like Steph. Steph's parents were together. They still are together. Steph could sit on the sideline on his dad's lap. See, we relate more to people that endured kind of like what we went through. LeBron James come from a broken household. Kevin Durant come from a broken household. And they look at Steph like, bro, you came in, you got a silver spoon in your mouth.
Well, his father played.
Here's the thing, though. Not only did darker-skinned blacks grow resentment toward lighter-skinned blacks, they also had jealousy toward, and I would even argue in some cases admiration for the light-skinned blacks. And Steph,
because they got treated a certain way. Look at Hollywood.
No, I get it, but there's jealousy there too. And Steph, look, let's just cut to the chase. Sports, because the physical work in the field was much harder, tougher. That's the physical work. Sports is physical. Basketball, football in particular, has been the domain of the field. So field Negroes. So, and that's historically what it's been. Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Julius Erving, Elgin Baylor, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, LeBron, KD, Kobe and Shaq. And now here come this light-skinned dude, like you said, not only dominating, but changing the game. And I don't think there's media hate towards Steph. Like there's talk, Rob Parker, maybe a few others don't like him, but the white analytic-driven media has fawned over Steph, especially in 2015, 2016, when he really emerged as this superstar. And that's why he was the first unanimous MVP. He shouldn't have been the first unanimous MVP.
And guys are resentful of that.
Right, and that's where...
No, Michael Skip, you love Michael. You say he's the GOAT. He didn't win one MVP unanimously. Not LeBron, not Larry, not Magic, not Russell, nobody, little Steph, little 6'2", light-skinned Steph is the first. No, that ain't right.
Here's the hypocrisy, though. And you mentioned the way Steph grew up and was raised, and some players not relating to that. They all want to raise their children just like Steph was raised. How Bronny and little LeBron's kids gonna be raised?
Private school.
They raised just like Steph kids. KD's, all these guys' kids are gonna be raised like Steph. So you want to hate on him for being raised that way, but yet you raising your kids the same way. That's where the jealousy comes in that it's not just resentment, it's also some jealousy and hypocrisy. Because you want your kids to be raised just like he was raised.
Okay, I got questions.
Gotcha.
Matt Barnes' quote is, and people have problems with that, with light skin. Who are people? I just want to, because this is so serious.
He's talking about blacks.
I think he's thinking about the darker skinned players that's in the league.
How many people and who are they?
Matt
are we talking
told
about?
me-
Are we talking about the darker skinned players in the league, or are we talking about people on Twitter?
Matt told me that when he came in, and he was regarded as one of the tougher guys in the league.
Right.
Oh,
But when he first got in the league, he said dudes thought, he gonna be soft.
Because
he's
he's
light skinned.
And what he had to do?
He had to show, like, no, this is not that type of party. So, there is that.
Okay.
I don't think it's a hate.
From players, not Twitter followers or IG followers, right? This isn't just a populist.
I think it's some. Look, first of all, I don't think that now. Iguodala and Matt Barnes know the players better than I do. But I don't think there's just this huge hatred, for Steph. I just think that there is some resentment, some jealousy there of him, and we're kind of shedding light on the light skin thing.
You said that the things that Steph does, how he shimmies and he's doing all this other thing that some players do, they would be.
What are we doing? He hot dogs, he showboats. He celebrates like crazy after mid-game threes.
Yeah.
Where I'm saying, how does he get away with this?
Is that,
and I love
unique,
Steph Curry.
though? I mean, Mark Jackson did the helicopter.
Okay, but
LeBron
listen,
struts after he's done something. He's strutting, looking around at the crowd.
He doesn't as much as Steph does.
He shimmies. I think that turns some fans off.
After a while, it's too much. Now, I got to go back to the light skin thing. Yeah, you have told me several times before when this has come up, if a player has biracial parents, maybe white mom, black dad, that player is considered flat out black.
Yes.
The one drop theory.
That's the American. That's been American history.
Okay.
The one drop rule.
All right. Yet the flip side of this is you're saying that some black players, some older black players or other black people say, wait a second, if you're light skinned, I don't love that. Right. So it's like
It's not.
There's not right because I'm gonna keep it 100. A lot of these dudes that want to hate on Steph because he's light skinned, there's hypocrisy because they all want to date light skinned women. I'm just keeping it real.
Okay.
There is this colorism thing in the black community is deep.
It is
and
very deep.
They think light skinned blacks are viewed as prettier.
And they received an unfair advantage no matter what the case may be.
Okay.
You look at Hollywood, Skip, and how the light-skinned women, they got the roles if they were to get roles. And they look at Steph as like, Steph doesn't receive the criticism like a LeBron when things go wrong.
All right.
And people become resentful of him. They're like.
But here's why, too, because he's become so dominant. Because Jason Kidd didn't get that. Because he was, as great as he wasn't like the best player in the conversation. Klay Thompson doesn't get that either. Because he's not, like Steph has changed the game and dominated.
But Steph doesn't have biracial parents because they're both considered black. I mean, they're light-skinned.
But obviously there is a lot of white, like me. I don't have biracial parents, but there's a lot of white blood in me. So it's that
So now
situation.
back to the basketball context. My issues with Steph are he has not lived up to clutch moments in his career because I still haven't gotten over the disaster that he was in games 5, 6, and 7 of the 2016 finals when they had a 3-1 lead.
Right.
Last 3 games of that, he has 7 assists to 12 turnovers. In the fourth quarter of those 3 games, 2 of them at home, he shot 30% from the field and 25% from 3. And you remember the game 7, Steph?
Behind the back. You can't get over that behind the back.
I can't get over that because that was only 1 turnover in the fourth.
He's admitted that was bad.
Well, and in the fourth quarter of that game, he went 1 for 6 from the field and 1 for 5 from 3, and it was just winnable all the way home.
Yeah.
And finally, Kyrie said, I've had enough.
Right.
I got this. So he came up so small there. And then you brought it up earlier. He did have a pretty good look to win Game 6.
Yes.
And if they win Game 6, I don't know what's going to happen in Game 7.
Right.
But at that point, I thought maybe Clay could come back. But obviously, he was gone.
Right.
But the point was, that was a big shot, and he missed that one. And I think he's missed a lot of big shots. Did he have 2 revolutionary years? Yes, he did. I give you that. But I do think he's gotten a pass from whatever color the media is, from all media members, because he has never come up clutch in the biggest moments. He just hasn't.
And Chris, back to Skip, not to get back to the color thing, is that just in the community, we just always was brought up that light-skinned guys were soft. And Matt had to prove that he wasn't soft because, like he said, when he came in, guys were going to try him. Guys were more apt to try a guy. If you didn't know who I was, and I was the same size as Steph, and we walk, and I'm the complexion I am, if both of us walked in the room, they looking, oh, if we're going to jump, we're going to get one, it's going to be him. Because that, and I had one of my coaches in college said, don't go recruit light-skinned guys because they're not tough.
Okay.
That was our mindset.
Would that include biracial kids?
He didn't want light-skinned kids.
Different?
So if they look like Chris Broussard, he was already thinking.
And ultimately, most of the light-skinned guys are biracial.
Biracial.
And the interesting, and this is where I brought up the dating the women. Look at college basketball today. Look at how many light-skinned dudes there are. We can even it's coming into the NBA. Ben Simmons, Blake Griffin, on and on. Like college and I've talked to blacks.
Biracial kids, right?
But ultimately, that's what light-skinned blacks are.
Jason Kidd, biracial,
right? But now it is prominent. Is it not noticeable? And that is these Division I basketball players in the 80s hooked up with white women.
Okay.
And that's where these kids are coming from. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that is what is happening. And that's where we joke about light-skinned brothers being back in style and all that. Yeah. So it's not a hatred. Like, I don't feel any like the black community is pushing me away. We joke about it. But I don't like it at all. I mean, my wife is brown-skinned. I'm not into my mentality is black. Right. Because we've all faced common oppression, of racism. So I hate it. But it is very prominent within the black community.
FYI, y'all not making a comeback.
No?
Nope.
Best backcourt ever. Drake rapping. Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, Duncan. You better hope Zion lives up to it.
We got Zion.
We could do a whole show, an important show on this topic. Chris, thanks so much for your perspective and your insight this morning. We hope you have a great weekend.
No mercy.
All right, Anthony Davis apparently getting to keep his old number 23 here in LA. Our friend Chris Haynes reports LeBron is gifting number 23 to make AD as comfortable as possible with the Lakers. Last night, LeBron also tweeted out the number 6, fueling speculation the King is going back to the number he wore with the Heat and Team USA. We're joined right now by the man himself, Chris Haynes. Chris, we appreciate you being here.
By the way, you break a lot of stories.
He was
Every
busy
time I turn
yesterday.
around, he's breaking another story.
We should have had Chris on that last segment, too.
Oh, boy, that was interesting.
All right, back to the number 23 subject, though. Why did this play out this way? Why did this happen?
I believe I said it on this show. I want to say October, November. It might have been December. But at one point I said that if the Lakers were able to acquire Anthony Davis, LeBron James would transition Anthony Davis into being the premier player for the Lakers, knowing that, this is, the youth is on his side. It's up for him to carry the mantle. Right. And this is just the first evolution of that. This is just the first foundation part of that. In gifting the number 23 to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis did want, number 23, but he didn't ask for it. And so this is part of LeBron James making sure he's as comfortable as possible because they have championship aspirations from day one, and they want to make sure everybody's on the right page and feeling comfortable. And now, right now, what it's all about is filling out that roster with complementary pieces that's going to suit their talent. And this is just one more example of why LeBron James is one of the best teammates.
So he's
out there.
Passing the torch. Is that what's happening?
He said he's preparing to transition.
Skip, if you look at that photo back there, LeBron James is still front and center right now. Yeah. And AD's
I think that's
there.
Photoshop.
That is Photoshop. That's when he took the picture.
Go ahead,
No,
Shannon.
you go ahead. Pile on.
Do it.
Go ahead.
I regret to inform you of this, Chris Haynes, but obviously the agent these two players share brokered a deal by which LeBron needed cap space.
I missed that.
You missed
my
that part?
report.
Well, this is my 2 cents from a distance. But obviously, LeBron's championship window is starting to close. He's starting to at least near the end of his career, and he sees the end, and he needs extra cap space to maximize their chances of signing a third star. And so, obviously, he says, okay, I'll give up 23 if Anthony will waive his the trade kicker of $4 million. And it's a lot of cap money. It's also a lot of pocket change for Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And so the cost of the jersey was $4 million. It's as simple as that.
We're going to get it back. We're going to get it back. See, Skip, you keep talking about the window is closed. And see, you didn't grow up like we grew up. See, Chris, I don't know where you grew up at, but see, we had a
West
stick.
side of Fresno.
We had a stick in our window, so when it's about to close, because they had the lost the springs in it, we put a stick up in there. Well, LeBron James is that stick that holds the championship window open longer than what it should be.
You didn't have a book to put in the window?
No, we had a stick.
Oh,
book?
okay.
What book?
I mean, everybody got the Bible. Everybody got the Bible.
You better not put the Bible, hold the window up. That Bible was sacred. Skip Bayless, look. I agree. LeBron James is transitioning to Anthony Davis because he understands that Anthony will be there, AD will be there longer than he will. So he's preparing. 23 didn't make me. I was going to be LeBron James with or without 23, regardless who wore it first, Skip Bayless. Okay, Michael Jordan wore the number first. Yes, he's famous, and we get all that.
We get all that? That's the it.
No, it. But you want to make it seem like 23 has some superpowers in it. There have been a lot of other guys that's worn 23 that hadn't been as good as LeBron or Michael or as AD. So the number doesn't make him. I think he should have been 23.5, but I just want some compensation for all the 5 Laker jerseys I bought with 23 on them. Now I got to get a number 6.
The joke is on you.
No, that's all right.
Yeah. You got played.
I was still going to wear my jersey.
played.
I'm still going to wear my 23.
Okay, now you're going to have to wear your 6.
I will get one.
Yeah.
Them jerseys expensive, too.
I just feel bad because my reporting, it was fake news there. I thought I reported it was a gift. It was a straight gift out of his heart.
It was. I believe it.
I like your report. It sounded good.
I like Skip. Some gifts cost more than others.
Yeah.
Look, we understand. I mean, if the man wanted 23, if that's what, bruh, to come here to still say, you know what, because AD could have said, you know what, I believe in David Griffin. I believe they're going to switch this thing around, and he could have stayed. But for you to still hold your ground and say, you know what, I want to go to L.A., bro, if all you want is 23, take the old term. That man will give you the shirt off his back. The man gave him the jersey off his back, Skip Bayless.
He did.
That's why he's the greatest teammate and what makes him the GOAT.
Because that man was crumbling under the pressure to live up to 23 as a Los Angeles Laker on the Staples Hollywood stage. He was. He's been crumbling his whole career to live up to that guy.
I mean, Skip, before he went down with the injury, I believe they were
40 and 14.
But they were fourth in the conference.
40 and 14.
And Surgeon had just beat the Golden State Warriors.
LeBron had left maybe 8 games on the table already.
So in other words, they're supposed to be 28 and 6 at that point.
Remember the third game at Staples against my Spurs, overtime?
Third game?
LeBron's got 2 free throws to ice it with 12 seconds left. Brick. Anyway,
he missed it.
You left that one on the table.
Well, we talk about the jersey right now.
And we are talking about the jersey, but let's not talk about the jersey because the cap space got cleared.
That's right.
Max space.
Yeah.
Mr. Haynes, what do they do now? What would you do now?
What would I do? Well, look, I think obviously they have to go in the direction of looking at Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving.
Thank you.
But if they strike out on those two, which I think they're going to be able to pitch a very compelling and appealing pitch to those two. But if they strike on those two, guys, I'm telling you, I know I probably said it yesterday, but I would look at, you probably disagree, but I would look at D'Angelo Russell. I seriously would. You look at somebody who can play off the ball as well as be the floor general, and he does have, I said something on the radio show a couple of days ago and I was wrong, and I said I don't think that with the agent he had that they would allow him to come back. I was wrong in that regard. There is interest in D'Angelo coming back to the Lakers. It would fit fine. Like I said, you need somebody who can catch and shoot when you're playing with LeBron James and now in particular Anthony Davis. You have that in D'Angelo because I still think in order to get Kawhi and Kyrie, I still think that's going to be a long shot. And so I think that's probably the most serviceable star you can get. And I think it'll be a perfect fit.
Okay, but long shots on both number 2 and Kyrie.
It's hard. Look, I think Kyrie is going to meet with the Lakers. Kawhi as well. It's still difficult as of right now. Things have been changing. Look, first of all, we thought it was foregone conclusion. Kyrie, Brooklyn.
Yep.
Things are changing. I'm tired. I'm losing hair. I'm like, great, man. It's just in 2 days. Mm-hmm. And so, look, things can change all the time. And I covered Kyrie Irving. He changes his mind often. He's real fickle. I've covered that guy. I know how he works and operates. So that's why I say this is going to be a tough free agency to cover the last 2 days. Because I think we're still going to hear more subplots of guys thinking elsewhere, places that we never even thought about before.
We got this.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't, what about Clay? They're gonna give him the gold. They're gonna give him the max.
Go stay and lose no Clay.
Okay, so we out of Clay.
Don't go there.
I like Bogey. Let's get Bogdanovich. Let's get Redick. Let's get Lamb. Let's get somebody like that. We need catch and shoot guy. See, I just think D'Angelo Russell.
So you're cooling on number 2.
No. That's for I told you.
But you're cooling on the prospect of actually.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I don't think that's not the fish that we're gonna be able to bring to the boat. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be the one that got away. Everybody tell the story of the one that got away. Mm-hmm. But Skip, when I look at D'Angelo Russell, the question is, when you get a free agent, it doesn't matter the sport. Are you going to use him like the team that you got him and what you fell in love? Are you going to use him like that? Are you going to let him have the 3rd highest usage rate behind Harden and Westbrook so he can give you that 21.5 and 6 assists that he gave Brooklyn? Are you going to use him like that? Because if you don't, I don't know if you're going to get the benefits of what you saw and why you fell in love with him to begin with. I don't see him as mainly a catch and shoot. I see him as a guy that needs the ball and needs to break you down to be able to do what he does. Now, Bogdanovich, catch and shoot. Redick, catch and shoot. Jeremy Lamb can catch and shoot. I mean, I like Patrick Beverly, but 3 years, $40 million. I love the dog in Pat Bev, but I don't know about that.
I do not love the prospect of what you have suggested. D'Angelo Russell does not fit with these guys. He doesn't fit back on the stage. I feel like that bridge got burned. I don't love his intangibles. I obviously don't love what he did to Nick Young, and I'm not sure anybody got over that, even though Magic has said, well, everybody's gone who was involved in that. That's true. Was he there?
I think Kuz was there.
Okay.
Yep. That was only 1 year.
D'Angelo Russell was so good last year for the Nets that they went 42-40 in the East. And again, he had a breakout year. Yes, he had some games where I just sat back and I was in awe because I didn't see that at Ohio State. When I watched him in college, I didn't see that.
Right.
So he's got skills, he can shoot it, but he needs the ball in his hand. He is used to that. And I'm with Chris Broussard on this. In year 17 for LeBron James, he has to go full-on Magic. I want the ball in his hands.
No. We transitioned to Magic. No, we still
full on.
We still can do 25. No. We still can do 25, 8, and 8.
I want to see him bring the ball up the floor and orchestrate it because he's still the best passer in basketball. He is still the best three-point setup passer in basketball. I'm talking about the skip pass to the wide-open sniper over in the corner of the far side.
You know Kyle Korver's still on our radar, right?
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay. J.R. Smith is on your radar.
Yes. But Skip, the same concerns you had about D'Angelo are the same concerns people had about Kyrie when LeBron went back to Cleveland for the second time. And I'll say this. The difference is Kyrie inherited LeBron. D'Angelo, if he were to come over, he's coming over knowing, okay, I know LeBron James is most of the time ball dominant. I know I got to feed AD. I know I'm going to be a third wheel. So he's going to come over embracing such a role. I think that's the difference. I think, look, you got to give
maybe as a plan C.
No, that's what I said. You know, they got to go after those big guys first. But if you strike out on that and just get D'Angelo, that's a pretty good summer.
You okay with that? Nope, you're not. I can see it in your face.
I thought we were brothers.
Good, but I want that.
I know what would make you happy.
What would make me happy?
A guy named Kawhi.
Oh, why?
Being in purple and gold. Great stuff, guys.
No mercy.
Kawhi Leonard will become an unrestricted free agent.
Toronto is in danger of losing.
Meeting Nets, Knicks, Raptors, Clippers, the Lakers, maybe Philly.
Kawhi is clearly the most valuable free agent.
Let's go. Is this the dagger?
They've been over backwards. There's nothing else they can do.
Number 2 will stiff the Raptors.
That's it. It's over. The Raptors, NBA champs.
Finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard.
What a year for Kawhi Leonard.
City's done it, franchise done it. I'm still playing basketball, no matter what jersey I have on. He's on another team, and we just have to kick his ass.
Decisions. Kawhi Leonard might be the biggest name on the market this weekend. Yahoo's Chris Haynes back with us this Friday morning. What can you tell us about what you're hearing per Kawhi?
Well, I reported yesterday that Kawhi is expected to meet with the Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers here in L.A. When free agency commences. The Raptors are going to be in the mix as well. The Knicks are trying to secure a meeting. They're expected to get in the mix as well. So, look, I said this from the beginning. I think, my personal opinion, I think it's going to be very hard for Kawhi to leave Toronto, just with everything that was, the trust that was built, the magical season they had. But look, for a while, Kawhi has wanted to be home. He's wanted to be in L.A. And then this is the first time in a while where I can remember, definitely the first time since I've been covering the league, 9 years, that both L.A. teams are attractive. Like, those are attractive situations. Yeah. Like, L.A. Clippers have a great thing going, foundation, and you look at what the Lakers are doing. So I think, particularly as it pertains to the Lakers, he gives them that meeting. If LeBron shows up.
Oh, he's showing up.
If AD shows up.
I'm showing up too.
Magic Johnson shows up. That's appealing, man. You can talk about just legacy. They could talk about all the banners that are retired, all the great players that came through this franchise. And I think that can tug at his emotional string, but also the fact of just being home. So I think they're going to have a real serious and enticing pitch for Kawhi, as well as the LA Clippers. But it's still hard for me to believe. But look, if he were to leave Toronto, and I heard the monologue, I heard you talking about he's going to screw the Raptors. But look,
he want that to happen.
I didn't say screw, I said stiff.
Well, okay, sure. We'll say screw Steph.
You want that to happen because you want somebody else other than you to have resentment against Kawhi.
But what does he owe Toronto?
There's a whole nation that has resentment. Yeah. It's called Spurs Nation.
Spurs Nation, and the Raptor Nation also, if you were to leave.
But what does he owe the Raptors? He came in 1 year, got them their lone championship in franchise history, beating a dynasty-led team in the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
Shouldn't he be, if he does leave, shouldn't he be allowed to go and find it? He was traded there. He didn't pick to go there.
So he owes them the final meeting, right? Is that what he can?
Oh, he
they get the last shot?
Yeah, he get him final. Yeah, that's the league.
So?
We figure that's the league.
So
that's not gonna work. What? He will have decided by the time he hits.
We don't know that, Skip. Stop. We don't know that. Look, for me, I don't know how he goes back because if you look at this roster, after next year, they'll have only 3 guys under contract: Kawhi, Norman Powell, and Anunoby.
Your researcher made a great point about that.
I mean, so think about it.
He was a researcher.
So think about that. All the guys, Siakam and Van Vliet and Kyle Lowry and Ibaka and Marc Gasol, they're either restricted or unrestricted free agents. So to try to keep that nucleus together is going to be very difficult. And now what do you have to trade? I mean, to get Kawhi, you had pieces that you could trade. Well, you can't trade somebody that you don't have a contract on. So now how do you build a team? Because every great player that they had has left. You look at Vince Carter, he left. Tracy McGrady, he left. Chris Bosh, he left. They didn't want to stay. As Chris mentioned, Kawhi got traded. He didn't like, man, Toronto's appealing. I'm going there. Now, the question when you come down to the LA teams, does Kawhi want to drive the car or is he comfortable riding in the car with his homeboy? Because if he's comfortable riding, ain't no problem with me. Hey, I ride shotgun. I ain't got no problem. I sit in the catbird seat and chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the car. A nice car, too.
Remember what Rick Bucher said? Talked to Kawhi. It was a year ago. Kawhi said, I don't want to play with LeBron. I want to beat LeBron. That's what he said.
Okay, but that was before he won another title. Now he'll be coming in, hey, I got 2 MVPs too, Bron. Bron got 3. I've been 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. I've been 2-time first-team All-NBA. LeBron, so, now he's not on, I don't believe Bron level, you know what I'm saying? But, Skip, it's a lot different. Now we view Kawhi because after what we saw him do, regardless of how it happened, KD got injured, Clay got injured, he got that on his resume. We've seen Kawhi take a team that was not going to be in the NBA Finals and navigate those waters. Milwaukee, number 1 seed, only team to win 60 games. Oh, young talent, big team in Philadelphia. Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons. Take them down. And then he went to that dynasty up in Gold and the Bay. So we look at him totally different now.
So, number 2's hidden agenda, which was not so hidden from the start in San Antonio a year ago, 2 years ago now, was to get home, to your point. They wanted out of San Antonio and back to Southern California. And I think they didn't know at that point, Lakers, Clippers, because they were both in flux at that point. It was hard to see all coming that came, right? So they wound up forced to go to Toronto for a year, and they got every break. People got hurt. Embiid was sick and injured, and then KD went down again, and then Clay went down. So it all worked. Magic happened, to your point. It was a magical ride.
Yes.
And it happened. And yet, does he want to live in Toronto? He does not want to live in Toronto. And I'm going to refer to Lou Williams' quote of 2 days ago.
I knew that was coming up.
Oh, Sweet Lou.
Okay, Sweet Lou. And he is a member, as we speak, of the Los Angeles Clippers. So this is a recruiting pitch in a way. But I'll just boil it down to, he said, when you're in Toronto, you feel like you're playing overseas. He said, we couldn't wait to go on the road, sometimes just to be back in America, okay? So I'm sure there's some of that operating. No offense to Canada. It's a great place. Toronto it's not a good city. It's a great city, but it's not in the United States of America. So in the end, I think that's going to be the deciding factor. He wants to go home. He did grow up a Laker fan because the Clippers were awful. So in his heartstrings, get the tug on the heartstrings, they're going to get tugged.
What did Dorothy say? Their favorite movie, The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I know.
There's no place like home.
Okay.
There's
All
no
right.
place. And he ain't going to Kansas.
She was in rural Kansas.
Yeah.
Out on a farm.
Yeah, he coming to bright lights, Hollywood. He just got that big old place in Rancho Santa Fe.
Yeah. He did. Although Thomas Wolfe once said you can't go home again.
Yes, you can.
Okay, you can't. You can't go home.
You go back to Oklahoma all the time.
I do.
But to your point about him, you don't see him going back to Toronto. Look, and you mentioned the guys is under contract minimum time. Look. I think most people think if he does resign back in Toronto, it won't be a long-term deal. It'll be a 1-and-1.
Why would you do that with his injury history?
Because that's a good point. But why would you do that just from a team perspective? Okay, to run it back. Because everybody wants, everybody's going to be back. What you accomplished was great. Let's run it back for another year. Then you can decide on your long-term future. But yes, look, the way you said his injury history, but the way the Raptors handled him and managed him throughout the season.
That's good.
That helps and that benefits him. That can happen.
No back-to-back, 22 games of load management,
no risk.
Access to Uncle Dennis, fiance, home slices. They got access. I mean, they rolled out the carpet. It was pink, red, green, blue. I don't know what color carpet. Yeah, but they rolled it out for him.
I believe he's bound for the Clippers.
Lakers.
I believe in Jerry West. Everything he has touched.
I believe in Rob
Pelinka in this league. Everywhere Jerry West has been.
I believe in Rob.
Since when?
Lakers, Memphis.
Since he got that $4 million account.
Since yesterday.
And we got that.
Money talks.
And we pulled up that trade.
As I told you earlier, overnight he went from should be fired to should be executive of the year. Am I right?
Yeah, overnight.
Yeah.
Well, he's slick. He's slick with that tongue. He got somebody to take those three guys, Bonga and Wagner and who?
The other guy.
I forget the guy, but there was three guys. He got somebody.
He pulled it off. But Jerry West has pulled off a lot of things in this league.
He did.
Steve Ballmer has the deepest pockets. Not that you do have a cap, but listen, I love Doc Rivers. If I could choose to play for somebody in this league, I would want to play for Doc. And I think those will be three big deciding factors. They can roll out some carpet too, some firepower.
But let me tell you what they can't roll out. They can't roll out LeBron James.
No.
We can. They can't roll out AD. We can.
What if they roll out Jimmy Butler, or even, dare I say, what if it's Kevin Durant? What if they roll that out?
Wheel him out. Huh? But anyway, he ain't.
You would have to wheel him out.
What if we get KD?
Yeah.
Well, he might get KD.
Well, then you don't need him, right?
No.
Okay.
Only wheel him out for the next few months. Hopefully, Katie's rehab will go just fine.
No mercy.
Time for our trending story, sponsored by Hilton. Get price match guarantee when you book at Hilton.com. The Lakers made big moves yesterday to create a max salary roster spot. Former president and Laker legend Magic Johnson certainly took note. Magic tweeted, "Wow, wow, wow, what a trade and big move by Jeannie and Rob to clear $32 million in cap space. This move puts the Lakers in play for all of the free agents. I can't wait until Sunday. It's going to be exciting." What a change in tune. So, Shannon, what do you read into this tweet?
Skip, I think he's very excited that the Lakers were able to make this move happen, and the Lakers are going to be extremely, extremely competitive this year. But I know deep down he wish he had got this done. Because, Skip, the trade that he had in place to get AD, it was Rob Pelinka that actually got it home. And he had cap space for 2 max guys last year, Skip, but Paul George wouldn't even give the Lakers a meeting.
He wouldn't.
Now, there's no guarantee that they're going to get one of these big-time free agents, and they might be in the same situation where they got LeBron last year and they got AD this year, and they just have to settle with just one, and you got 2 of these guys together, something LeBron didn't have his first year.
Yep.
But do I believe Magic Johnson would have walked out of this job had they traded for AD? I do not.
No.
I do not. And I think it made it a lot easier for him to walk, even with all the backstabbing that he alleges that was going on when he didn't get AD. And looking at the package that he had to offer, he's like, well, what can they offer that we can't? I've already offered him, 2 first-rounders, and, you want Kuz, you want B.I., you want Lonzo, whatever you want. I've offered him that. So the likelihood of me being able to get him in the summer, considering more teams will be available, and especially the Celtics, because the Celtics couldn't do anything until the summer. He's like, I don't believe he'd have walked, Skip. So with that, I don't think but with all that being said, I don't think he regrets stepping away because he didn't know that they were able to get AD and they would have max cap space.
Okay. So I was amused by this portion of the tweet in which he gave credit to Jeannie and Rob for pulling off this trade.
Right.
Jeannie obviously is the owner of the Lakers, and I don't know if she had a direct hand in making this trade happen, but he couldn't give straight credit just to Rob because that's the guy that he just nuked for backstabbing him, right?
Yes.
So all of a sudden, Rob is looking better and better because, again, on the table at the trade deadline for your Pelicans was everybody.
Right.
And Rob, he kept Kuzma. I don't know. I'm still shocked by that. That's a pretty good coup for the Lakers that Kuzma's not a Pelican.
Right.
Because it sounded like at the deadline that Magic was willing to do any and everybody.
Throw Kuz in there too, yes.
Okay, so you got to give Pelinka some credit for that.
Yes.
Did Pelinka completely mismanage all the cap rules? And then he managed to dig out from under and make this trade to clear out the cap space. And now everything's right in Lakerland again, right?
Yes.
And you know what? Magic still wants to go back to being the #1 ambassador for the Lakers.
Yes.
And you know what? That's where he should have been always. Everything settled back to where it should have been from the start.
Right.
Magic did not belong in this job. It's not exactly who he is and what he does.
He's Magic Johnson. Irving Johnson can do that job, but not Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson needs to be smiling at the game, loving everybody.
He does.
Talking to everybody. That's what he does.
Right. And it got so ugly with him, and whether he worked hard or not, I don't know because I don't care. And I still love Magic, and yet he made a bunch of moves that weren't great moves.
Right.
If we look at his short track record, it was not impressive.
Right.
Starting with he traded Lou Williams right out of the box, and he let Julius Randle go, and he let Brook Lopez walk, and again, a lot of moves where you say, wait a second, what was happening here? So now he's back into the smiling ambassador role where he should have been from the start, and I'm okay with that, but he's got to grit his teeth and congratulate Jeannie and Rob for making this move, right?
Yep.
Way to go.
You notice he put Jeannie first. He couldn't say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no.
At least put Rob. I mean, what did Jeannie do? Jeannie picked up the phone.
She had nothing. She had to sign off on it.
Yeah, but I'm saying
she said, "Oh, great."
But it was Rob that was doing all the work. Skip.
Okay, so Rob's he's starting to
just put a great job by Rob and Jeannie.
Right? What do you think? Executive of the year?
No.
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 You know, people don't win titles when they're with LeBron.
Yeah.
You don't get no credit.
So it's going to be very interesting to see if Magic is then invited to these sessions with the free agents to be part of the Laker hierarchy.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we invite him? He's Magic.
Okay.
Inviting Kobe, too.
Well, he took credit for signing LeBron when I think LeBron actually invited Magic.
No free agent has ever come. Shaq was coming to the Lakers. Yeah. There's nothing Jerry West could do to prevent him from coming to L.A. He was coming to the Lakers. LeBron was coming to the Lakers. There's nothing Magic could do to prevent that.
Nope.
So now we got AD, and we're about to get another one.
No mercy.
Our final topic of the day, similar. We're about 54 hours away from the start of NBA free agency on Sunday. The Lakers, they got money to spend, $32 million after their moves yesterday. Shannon, give us your wish list for LA.
I wish we could sign Kawhi or Klay Thompson. And if we can't, I wish we spread the money around appropriately. I do not wish Jimmy Butler and D'Angelo be on my team.
You do not want them. So I wish for the Lakers to sign D'Angelo Russell.
No,
period. There you go. That's it.
See, there you go.
I wish for the San Antonio Spurs to sign Kevin Durant.
I bet
About
you,
that?
I bet you do.
I do.
Bet you
well,
do.
you asked me what I wish for, right?
No, it was my wish.
I wish for number 2 and Jimmy Butler to be Clippers with Jerry West and Steve Ballmer and Doc. That's what I wish.
Well, they're still going to be second because they're not going to be able to do anything with us.
No.
AD's on a mission. LeBron's on a mission. Did you see the picture he posted yesterday? That body in the gym? Ooh, Skip, he lean.
Skinny.
Yeah. No,
Looked like he hadn't been hitting the weights very
he hit them hard.
Really?
And he doing
Looks
yoga.
like he's been doing
yoga,
acting.
Pilates, gyrotonics, all that.
Really?
Yep. Sea salt been soaking in the buoyancy tub.
When was that picture from? Like 6 months
No,
ago?
it was not. You know it was from yesterday. It was from 2 days ago. It was on my birthday, actually. It was on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, he did tweet you. Happy birthday. So he's watching.
Yeah.
So thank you, LeBron. How are you?
Yeah,
Nice to see you.
He know my
Looking a little skinny.
Gentlemen, have a great weekend. We'll have some free agency answers. Hopefully when we see you on Monday, we will be back then.
No mercy.
Thank you for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning, featuring this week's best segments. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.